We claim, young,
Yes.
hallelujah.
Thank
He
you,
said, we
Jesus.
claim a turnaround.
Mm.
Hallelujah. Well, Coach Judy, how can we get this?
Woo.
So tell us,
Ooh.
how can we get this book, this amazing book with these incredible stories that you are the visionary of Activate Your Faith, a generational turnaround? How can we get the book?
Yes, I am a disability wellness coach. So my website is disability slash store. And I'm look, I am a wellness coach. So that is my profession, but my love and my life is these young people. And I am there. Go to Judy Ambrose James, Facebook, TikTok, Clubhouse, and every other house. You can get me.
You says every other house you can get her. So we have listen, you have just the enemy thought he had it, but you prevailed. You got
Yes.
here. What a way the audience is applauding you. I'm telling you, I feel the spirit of the Lord already
Mm.
because this platform belongs to him. Coach Judy has come in here and let us know about the transformation. One of the notes she said, you said so much, but you said that we should look to hear from God for ourselves. That was
Yes.
a that was a nugget, which you dropped that nugget. And surviving the storm. That's a whole conversation right there.
Mm.
But we have heard from you as you have shared with us that we can find you on TikTok. So those of you that are those TikTokers and y'all going on late night and y'all want to catch this great woman of God, go right on over and get in the crowd with the young people. All
Yeah.
right. And then we have Angela said really enjoyed your sharing. And
Yes.
of course your contributing author Paula, she's just got claps and claps and claps coming on across. So Coach Judy, all we can say, we are honored to have you on the tour with us. We certainly invite you back because your authors will be coming through individually on tomorrow. But I'd love for you to come and just share your wisdom. The platform is always open to you. And so we thank you for
Yes.
opening up our coaches who are author tour that is with Coffee Conversations and Book Talks with Sandy. Thank you so much. You've been
Thank
an
you.
amazing blessing
Thank
to us.
you.
Any last words that you have before we bring on our next author and our next guest?
Uh, God is calling on everyone to come together and take part in a movement, in an activate your faith movement
Mm.
that is solely fueled by love. It gotta be love in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mm.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to Tony, if you will, give some closing remarks there. We're going to go ahead. Dr. Tina J. Ramsey is backstage, and we thank you all for. We're going to hear from one of our sponsors while we transition. So, Tony, if you come on through and give us a little recap, Dr. Judith, if you want to hang out in the green room, you're more than welcome. We appreciate you, and we're going to step away. And Tony, go ahead.
Dr. Judy just let us know that transformation can definitely be an uncomfortable situation, but it is solely of God. And I thank you, Dr. Judy, for sharing with us and letting us know the love that you have in your heart. And what spoke to me really profoundly is that transformation can begin with your earliest morning, you getting up and going to the restroom, and that's where God downloads his information into you. And like you said, it's not for you, that it is something for someone else. So I think, audience, that is an amazing and awesome and wonderful note to leave in off of, is that God is sending something through you for someone else. Don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Don't feel like you don't have anything to offer, because the very thing that he sent to you, I may be very much in need of. So thank you so much, Dr. Judy, for sharing your thoughts with us, for sharing your experiences with us, for sharing how the enemy wanted to use it for fun and games. My daddy always once told us when we were growing up, he said, God sent it, even if the devil had to bring it. So your word and your message is for God, from God, for us. And those people on the YouTube laughed at you and criticized you, but look, in the end, it is God that is going to receive the glory. And we thank you for your testimony. We thank you for your powerful charge and command on our lives to activate our faith, and in claiming our generational turnarounds. That's exactly what we need to do, is having a generational turnaround. Thank you so much again for your transformation words of positivity. I can't hear you, Sandy.
Transitioning. Thank you so much, Tony, for those words, recap of our guests. Yes, Coach Dr. Judy Ambrose James. I'm telling you, she definitely did bring it. Thank you so much. Well, we're getting ready now to bring on our keynote for tonight, our final keynote for tonight. Yes, she has been amazing. She is the CEO of the CTR Media Network. Before I really get into her bio, I just want to play this clip for you all, okay?
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
CTR Media Network. Our guest author, coach, she is a coach who is also an author. Dr. Tina is an accomplished global inspirational and motivational speaker, as well as 3-time best-selling author, recognized by Dr. Cheryl Wood as one of the top 100 global speakers in the world. She has graced over 100 stages, passionately delivering her message of resilience and empowerment. She is a leader in 2 district areas of homeschooling and podcasting. Dr. Ramsey has left an incredible mark on the educational industry for over 25 years, with expertise in special needs education and planning curriculum development. She founded 2 global magazines, the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine and MHFS Magazine. Her influence, Global Magazine, and yes, her influence has extended and extends over 25,000 homeschooling parents worldwide. In the podcasting media industry, which I am a part of, that's a look. Industry, Dr. Tina Ramsey. Dr. Ramsey serves as the CEO of the CTRMediaNetwork.com. We reach reaching over 350 million households. Her 2-time award-nominated show, The Tina Ramsey Show, ranks in the top 2% of the most popular podcast shows globally. out of over 3 million podcasts worldwide. 2%.
2%.
2% out of over 3 million podcasters worldwide. Alongside her dedicated team, she passionately connects individuals with opportunities to live the life that they were born for. There's so much more. The CTR Media Network aids podcasters, companies, and entrepreneurs in growing their business through innovative podcasting techniques and media, expanding their market share and reaching target audiences using podcasting media and TV. I'm going to stop there because we will be there all night. This lady has a wealth of knowledge. I do want to share this, is that as a podcaster, a podcast media specialist, booking agent, and certified podcast coach for influencers and entrepreneurs, Dr. Tina Ramsey moderates a thriving community of over 25,000 podcasters. She's the founder of the #1 best-selling magazine, Podcast Revolution magazine on Amazon. She propelled numerous podcasters and entrepreneurs to new heights. And I would say that I am included. Without further ado, our keynote speaker for tonight remaining is none other than my podcasting coach, the phenomenal one and only Dr. Tina Ramsey. We're going to step back because she is in the house. Yes, she is.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. You know, when I hear my bio, I'm like, who is that? Okay. And sometimes I'm like, you don't have to read all that. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for having me. And you heard a little bit about my life, but I just want to say that all the things that I have accomplished and what I will accomplish in the future is all because of God. It's a relationship, the relationship that I have with my Heavenly Father, and He is the one who gave me these gifts. And once I appreciate them and I accepted them, because God can give you gifts to be able to make an impact, but sometimes we hold ourselves back because we go into this mind and feel like we're not adequate. We are not worthy. Maybe something happened to you when you was younger, or maybe you feel like you try to compare yourself to others. And so anytime that I hear my bio or someone did research on me and they go down, you know, the little resume, I am always in awe because I know that God did all that for me. And so do not listen to the bio and feel like you can't accomplish anything, because I am just a mere woman and God decided to use me to be His messenger. And also He allowed me to be able to be an instrument and a messenger and a servant leader in regards to helping individuals unleash the power of their voice, tap into their full potential, and also use the power of podcasting to do it. When I was a little girl, I did not grow up saying I want to be a podcaster when I grow up. I actually grew up saying I want to be a school teacher, in which I did. And that is the side that you heard dealing with. I was a former educator in the public school system that now homeschools my children, one of which is a special needs. He has special needs, high functioning autism, and also dyslexia. And so I use my story, I use my experience in order to help de-stress the homeschooling process. But let me just tell you a little story. Once upon a time, since this night, there was a girl between the ages of 3 and 4 who was at the store with her aunt. And she was a little girl that was very, very curious, very friendly, and just loved being with her family. So on this day, she went with her aunt to the store, and a lady came that she did not know, but this young girl didn't meet any strangers. So she started talking with the woman. That woman took it upon herself to lead that 3 to 4-year-old little girl outside the store, ultimately with ill intention. She wanted to abduct that little 3 to 4-year-old girl. What happened to her? Well, that aunt, when she realized that her niece was gone, she went calling, yelling out in the streets, trying to find where her niece had went, because this niece loved to play hide and seek. So she thought that the niece was just simply playing hide go seek, right? When she realized, when she got to the end of the street, because God told her to leave out, she saw her niece walking with her hand held with a lady that she did not know. On that, she screamed out profusely. At that moment, she realized, I have to make a decision. Should I say that she's stealing my niece or trying to kidnap my niece, or should I say she's trying to kidnap my daughter? At that moment, that aunt said, she, in a loud voice, is trying to steal my baby. That young girl was me. God has always been protecting me. I sometimes sit in awe at all the different things that I went through in my life, in which God has always been my anchor. And that 3 to 4-year-old girl was protected, and I was returned back home to my loving parents. But then that same girl turned between the ages of 5 and 7, going to a spiritual retreat. And they was staying in a hotel. And that girl loved to run. And as she was running, she was unaware that there was a hole in the sidewalk on the 3rd floor of a really nice hotel. And as she was running faster than her best friend that was the same age, she heard the screeching voice of her mom say, "Tina!" And at that, the child stopped, turned around and looked. And as she looked at her mom and realized where she was at, she was wobbling forward and backwards. Now, my mother and I believe to this day that it was God or his angels that held me long enough for her to grab me, in which she was about 6 to 8 feet away from me. So there's no possible way that I should be here. Fast forward, at the age of 25, newly married, I went to sleep and a new mother. It was just like a regular night. I went to sleep and I woke up at the age of 25, and I was partially paralyzed from the waist down and lost a whole year of my life and had amnesia. I did not even remember that I had my first child. And through that, I had to go through different things in order to learn how to walk again, how to talk again. And that's why I kind of dance when I go on stages, because I'm just so grateful that I can walk. Some people might say I can't hardly dance, but I don't care. And so I told you these stories about my life because I want you to understand one thing, that's the narrative, the love that God has for me. And in essence, the same love that he has for me, he has for you. So I want you to go back in your memory and think about occasions that only God could have brought you through. And now I'm going to fast forward this all the way to now. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a servant of God. I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. I'm a businesswoman. And one night, I almost lost my life from having an allergic reaction to a medication. And God saved my life yet again. So with all those occasions, I've been down on my knees and I realized that God was trying to tell me something, that my life was not my own. My life belonged to him, and that he kept me on this earth and kept me safe in his bosom for a time such as this, a time for me to totally yield to his purpose, yield to his will, and do the outworking of his purpose for the people that he put me on this earth to do. So how do I do that? I do that by sharing my story. I do that by being a coach. A coach is not just a person that is here to accept money to provide a task, even though coaches do tasks. When I coach an individual, it's just not about what you hired me for, right? I want to know your why. I want to understand where you came from. I want to know if I can really help you. And being a coach has really opened me up to be able to be empathetic and be able to see people through different lenses, understanding that at the end of the day, we all just want to be happy and we all want to be loved. Coaching allows you to have the intimacy with another person in a way because they're entrusting you with the gifts that they have or that they may not necessarily be aware that they have. And it's our job as a coach to be able to bring that out of them along with helping them with their mindset so that they can fulfill their purpose. We are human beings, but I like to describe us as little beacons of light placed upon this earth in different destinations, in different districts, in order to make a positive impact in the world. And so when coaches become authors, it's a difference because now we're taking our expertise, we're taking the things that we learn, our experiences, and also our knowledge, and being able to put it in a book that will be able to permeate the world, even outliving our life. And as a coach, I feel incredibly honored because I have been able to help over 1,000 entrepreneurs over this span of entrepreneurship. And I can't even go through the countless people that I've been able to help in regards to education. But one thing that I know is that the central thing that we should all be doing right now is love. And my mother and I was speaking just last night about this love, and we made up an acronym. Love. The L stands for loyal. The O stands for obedience. The V stands for the vow that you made. And the E stands for endurance. Because as we make this transformation, as we go through things as coaches, as people, as wives, as daughters, as uncles, as fathers, we're transforming. It's not going to be easy because before you have your breakthrough, you have to go through something. Remember, breakthrough is a compound word. When you break it down, it's two words: break through. If you're going to have a breakthrough, you have to go through something in order to break it. So I don't want you to look at your challenges and your struggles as a hindrance. You look at it as stepping stones in the outworking of your purpose. Now you have the tools to become the solution to the problem that someone else has. And if you do not go through that, you will not be able to be that breakthrough in order to help them get to their purpose. Remember, your story, your life, your experiences is not for you, but it's actually for the people or the person that you're put on this earth to help. I need you to stop thinking about yourself and thinking about others. Make sure when you put others first, it's the boomerang effect. You will always be taken care of. That's how God is. And I need you to understand that really in life, it's only three doors. It's the manual door, it's the revolving door, and it's the automatic. Now, for years, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a coach, we have been using that manual door. And so if you don't know what that manual door is that heavy door that has that hard knob that you might need I'm about to age myself. You might need that WD-40 to kind of spray on the hinges because it kind of squeak a little bit, but you work with it. Meaning that you worked on yourself, you refine yourself just like a diamond. A diamond is not a diamond in the beginning, it's a clump of coal. So you are that clump of coal. You're harnessing and doing all the things. You get in the training. Entrepreneurs need coaches. Coaches need coaches. We need mentors in order to get to our next step. Understand, you can't do it alone. God didn't design us that way. You cannot do it on your own. I need you to understand that right now, going back, you have been doing this manual door, meaning that you're doing it all by yourself. You're doing all the things. You're the CEO, you the COO, you the CFO, you the CMO. I mean, you everything in the C-suite. I need you to understand that time is over. And now we're in the era of the revolving door. What is this revolving door? I know you saw them at hotels or maybe fancy supermarkets where when you go in and it goes around and around. by itself. Well, that door represents the people and the collaborations that you make. Okay, like right now, Book Talks with Sandy is on CTR Media Network, right? But we have other podcasters too. That is a collaboration and affiliation, right? We're all in that same revolving door, wanting to spread the love, making a positive impact. But I need everybody, if you didn't hear anything that I said today, I need you to understand that right now, we're living in the day of the automatic door. What does that mean for you, and why do you need to pay attention? Because what does an automatic door do? When you step in front of an automatic door, it automatically opens for you. By the sheer energy of your presence, the door opens. And I'm here to tell you that God has us in the season of the automatic door. And you want to know who those people are? It's you. It's me. It's the people who've been mishandled, misguided, lost trust, overturned, overlooked. This is your moment. It's the people at the back coming to the front. This is your moment. I do not want you to allow what your past was to detect or to dictate who you are now and what you are going to become. This is your season. Do not miss the mark. Do not miss the mark, because it's up to you whether or not you take hold of it or you let it slip away. And I'm telling you, do not let it slip away, because you are here for a reason. You are here to help, to empower, to inspire. You're here to make a positive impact. If you don't do what you need to do, a person or a group of people will not get what they need. Do not be selfish. Your story, your life happened to you, like I said before, but it's not for you. And once you understand and you align yourself with your full purpose, you will be able to enjoy the full gift of the gift that God blessed you with, no matter what it is that you're going through, right? Because one problem that we have as entrepreneurs and as coaches and as speakers or as people in general, sometimes we have a hard time accepting a gift. And you're probably saying, no, I don't. I love gifts. And it's the holiday season right now. I love gifts. But that's not the gift that I'm talking about. What gift do you think I'm speaking about? GIFT is an acronym. I want you to let go of your past. The word GIFT stands for, once you went through all that with the manual door, the ups, the downs, the twists and turns, and then you take your time, and then now you're collaborating with the right people. Some collaborations may have worked out, some may have not. Remember, people come into your life for one or two reasons, either to bring you a lesson or bring you a blessing. And unique people bring you two. They bring you a lesson and a blessing. I need you to understand that's all a part of the journey. You're going to need to understand these personalities, because the rooms that was closed for you in the past, God is opening those doors now, and you need to be ready. 2024 is the time for you to take action, for you to execute those deep dreams, those thoughts that have been coming to your mind. It is time for you to do the things that scare you. Your success is on the other side of the thing that you do not want to do. So what is it that you don't want to do, that you can do, that's a gift that God gave you? That is what you need to be doing. What is it? Think about it. What is it that you do very, very well, but you just don't like doing it? But everybody raves about it when you do it. That is what you need to be doing. And then you need to master it. You think I always thought I was going to be a podcaster, a full-time podcaster, have a podcast in the top 2% of the most popular podcasts in the world, a woman who hated the sound of her voice, a woman who hated to see herself on camera, a woman who hated The twang in my voice, I felt that it dumbed me down to have a country twang because the media represents Southern people as being idiots or being buffoons. And I felt like my Southern twang took away from my brilliant mind that God blessed me with. But I had to learn to love myself. And I had to learn that the very thing that I disliked about myself is the very gift that God gave me. It's the very thing that get me into rooms. It's the very thing that has opened up opportunities. It's the very thing that God made uniquely to me. No one, I don't care if they're named Tina, they cannot do what this Tina does because God gave it to me. There are a lot of podcasters in the world, but I can only do it the way that he gave it to me, just like all of us. It can never feel like the world is too saturated for you. Many people, I can't stand when they say, oh, that niche is too saturated. Let me tell you something. The world is never too saturated for you if God gave you a gift to do it. It's never too saturated. You will stand out. You will succeed with the people who you are here to help. I need you to understand the time that we're living in. And I need you to understand that this is a season of execution of the things that you have learned. This is the time for you to move. This is the time for you to get out of your own way, get out of your head thinking that you're not good enough, thinking that you need to know more, thinking that you need every certification up under the sun before someone take you seriously. God gave me my doctorate. He get it. All these certifications and accolades and awards. He gave it to me by me being obedient to what he told me to do. All these awards, I didn't even know anything about it. They emailed me and I'm like, whoa, I didn't apply for this. God will put you in rooms that was formerly closed. God will make a room for you and allow you to bring people in to be a blessing. But you have to be obedient to your assignment. You guys, I need you to understand that even your health, many people think all the challenges that I had, and that's just a small portion of what happened to me growing up. Small portion. But the consensus run true that God is my keeper, that God is my savior, that God had my back even when I didn't have my own. And I want you, if you're in this moment where you're trying, where you is doubting your faith, where you are in a moment where you feel like you have to see it in order to believe it, I need you to have the courage to walk by faith and not by sight. You don't have to understand everything if God is nudging you to do a particular assignment. I cannot tell you how many times I got this nudge to do something that I didn't quite understand. And when I did it and had trust in him, how it worked out to be a blessing for me time and time again. This is a season where you're not dependent and leaning on your own understanding. You need to lean on him, even when you don't understand it. So what? A collaboration or something didn't work out to the way that you thought it was. Maybe that was the way it's supposed to have worked out, to teach you a lesson, to prepare you. God is not going to do anything until he prepare you first. He has to prepare you. All right? So you're praying to be 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. You're doing all this, right? Or you're praying to be on this stage or do this and that, but you're going through all this stuff. He's preparing you so that when you get what you're asking for, you will be ready to accept it and you will be ready to be able to take on that new assignment and will not fall back. Because if you get it without being prepared, you'll usually burn out or you will not be able to effectively take out or work out your assignment. So let me go back to the gifts. Because you're probably saying, she ain't never tell me the gift. So what does gift mean to me? It's not a physical Tiffany box. It's not a physical gift or something that you'll give your loved one. It's an acronym that once you have did the personal work as a coach, because coaches, remember, you're coaching other people, but you need to be coached, and you also need to be doing that personal work on yourself too, because you're taking on other people's problems in order to help them get their solutions. And you need to make sure as you pour into others, you pour into yourself. Okay? But back to the gift. So what does that word gift mean to me? It means that after you go through the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything that's in between, that finally take you to the finish line of what you call your level of success, which is something different from each person. It means that now it's your time to enjoy and lay back and thank God and say, God, I feel this success. You know why you feel this success? Is because he allowed you to feel it. And because he the one who blessed you. And you show gratitude for everything that you had to go through in order to have your breakthrough. And never forget where you came from, and never forget the people that was there before all of this happened. All right? Because remember now, let me go on a little sidebar. If you get too full up on yourself, God can humble you like Nebuchadnezzar and have you like a beast in the field. Now, I ain't gonna go into preaching to y'all, but you better go read that scripture. You better go and read it. You don't want to be like Nebuchadnezzar. Well, I digress. I don't want to just pour all this on you. I want to make you smile a little bit too. So as you expand, as you grow, I want you to know that it's your time. I want you to stop being afraid. I want you to stop operating in fear. And I want you to tap into your full potential. I am Dr. Tina Ramsey, the host of the Tina Ramsey Show and podcast, also the CEO of CTR Media Network, where we specialize in helping podcasters, entrepreneurs, and companies grow through innovative podcasting techniques and media. So what does that exactly mean for you? We make your life absolutely easy because we leverage and expand your visibility and your market share through 3 areas: social media, television, and podcasting. I always say this: it doesn't matter how great your products and services are if no one knows that you exist. And at CTR Media Network, we simply help people know that you exist using the many forms of media that we use today in order to amplify your voice. Now, I do have a book. You can see it in the back, but I have another copy called The Power of Podcasting. So if you would like to get that book, you can get it on Amazon or go to ctrmedianetwork.com, and it will teach you everything that you need to know in regards to how to start, build, and grow a podcast. But if you would like to come on over to the CTR Media Network family, and we would love to have you here. You can come on over to the family and we can help you build and grow. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're saying, I don't want to start no podcast, I have enough on my plate, Dr. T, I have enough. Well, guess what? We actually book entrepreneurs, not just on our network, but all over on various podcast shows in order for you to be easy for you to be able to amplify your voice. So we can book you on shows, we can train you, we can coach you, we can help podcasters grow, and we help businesses grow through media, just building up your digital imprint. And we also teach children, because this is the time that we're living in where the digital era is not going anywhere. It's only going to expand and improve. And so we go into the communities with our nonprofit, CTR Cares, and teach in regards to podcasting, media, wellness, and also motivation, mindset, because before you can do any of these things, you have to first get your mindset together first. I'm so honored for every stage that God blessed me to be able to speak on, whether it's big or small, whether it's virtual or in person, because I realized that that could not be the case. So I would like to thank Sandy and also her amazing co-host, and also thank all the other amazing speakers and sponsors that poured a seed or seeds inside of this program. And I hope that you found some words beneficial that I had to say. And if you would like to book me for an event, you just go to ctrmnetwork.com, or you can just go and dial our number at 877-287-6552. All right, so that is about it. So remember, you guys, I love what I do. I'm grateful for what I do, and I'm thankful for all of you for allowing me a moment in time to share my joy and my plight a little bit, just a teeny bit, because it's a whole lot more, but just a teeny bit, just a little tired.
Oh my goodness.
You are phenomenal.
Oh, hey, God, he put the right words in my mouth. Every time I go to speak, I do what Ezra 7:11 said. I ask God to prepare my heart. Prepare my heart. What is it that I need to say? What is it that I need to do? And make sure my words are seasoned with salt so that it can touch the heart of the individuals that need to be taught. Because it's not about me at the end of the day. I'm only, like, in some cases I say I'm the messenger, but in some cases I say I'm the dummy, like on the ventriloquist. The ventriloquist hold the dummy, and they be like, that's me. I'm the mouth.
Well, you spoke volumes.
Dr. Tina, thank you so much for being a part of
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Individuals that whenever I wasn't sure where I was going or what I was going to do. The Clubhouse, God had not released me to do a room or house. And so podcasting was it. And we've been on this ride and this journey for a little over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
CTR Media Network, and I'm telling you, I am thankful of what her team has taken our show and her training, her dedication, and we're in for the journey. We're in for the journey. God is doing some amazing things. Dr. Tina, thank you so much. I took away a lot of nuggets. I want to say that you finished gift. I'm not quite sure you finished gift.
Well, God, I feel this success.
Got it. God,
I feel this success. Because many times we get to that level of success or reach that milestone, and we don't let ourselves enjoy it because we're thinking about the next thing, right? And so you're like, God, I feel it. You bless me. I feel it. Thank you for answering my prayers.
Yeah.
So
I thank you too.
Absolutely. She said, get out of your head. There was so much. I love the doors. You all, I'm telling you, there's so much. We are going to recap, but I want to thank you for your time. Tony, yes, you're very close. She's Columbia, South Carolina.
Really?
Not far. Yes, and she is North Carolina.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Well, you all, we are so appreciative to Dr. Tina for her time coming through, being a speaker, giving us some things as a coach and getting us ready for our transformation. We do not have to wait until 2024 to make this transformation. You have the nuggets. If you'd like to reach out to Dr. Tina, just simply go to CTR Media Network. I forgot the VA, but I got it in the www. CTR Media Network, and just reach out to her and you will find go click on to the contact and to her reach touchable, and even drop her telephone number. That means you can call this great woman of God. And Umoja Global Network, they're also watching us on the YouTube channel, which they are our media partners. And yes, she says great nuggets. That is Coach Janine over there.
Coach Janine.
Yes, Coach Janine is over there. And yeah, they are over there supporting us at the Umoji Global Network. lot of the African continent in that area.
Yeah,
So
she's great.
we're so thankful. Yes. Now, if she was on here, she would be speaking and translating in French, but we don't have her. She's over there on her. I love it. I love it. She'll be talking in French, but join us on Sunday night because we're going to have all of this conversation. Dr. Tina, any last words before we let you go?
I want to reiterate that your success is on the other side of the thing that you don't want to do. Okay. So what is it that you don't want to do? I mean, literally, you guys, I never wanted to be on the camera. I never wanted to hear the sound of my voice. I never wanted to work with a lot of people because guess what? I'm the only child and I'm fine with being with me, myself, and I, right? I love people, but I was like, how am I going to be able to do this assignment? The very thing when I dropped to my knees and I told God when he saved my life that last time, I said, God, I promise you get me out of this pickle. I promise you that I will do exactly what you want me to do, even if I don't understand it. And this is just a birth. The CTR Media Network, the books and all that he made go #1. Homeschooling magazine. I didn't even know a homeschool magazine can go #1. I mean, really, I didn't even know that was possible, but God did. So I'm telling you, all those things were things I didn't want to do. It was things that I didn't want to do. He put it in my spirit to do it. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna let somebody else do it. I teach them how to do it, but I'll be in the background. But as soon as I did what he told me to do and go from the back to the front and be able to provide a safe haven for his people in the midst of darkness, because the media can be a very dark area. And he said, you need to be a light in the midst of the darkness and provide access for our people. Look what he did. You really think I grew to 350 million households because it was something just so special about me and my stuff? Come on. It was God. Come on now. I'm pretty nice, but I mean, come on, really? I have divine backing.
Amen.
Divine backing. Here is what, and I'm gonna let you go. This is good. This is really good. Dr. Tina, you said you said your brilliant mind. And I took what you said because what I heard the Lord say, it's okay to say your brilliant mind. Mm-hmm. Our mind, we're talking about being transformed by the renewing of our mind.
Yes.
Our mind is what God has given us, and he is excellent. His name is excellent. So if let this mind be in you, which is also Christ Jesus, then went through him we have a brilliant mind, and it's okay. Your area of brilliantness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was heavy. I grabbed it. Y'all. Listen, there's someone in our audience who says, I remember, I don't have their name, but it says Facebook user. It says, I remember when we first met and see you now, and I have the wow factor. God has been using you to do his work for his glory. Oh. They met you in 2021. The other part is that I remember when we met in 2021 and to see your growth and how God is using you immensely for his glory. Oh. We're hearing these things, powerful speakers tonight. Yes, again, great nuggets tonight. Comfort, creative and unique learning zone came through and said divine backing, glory. Yes, I'm telling you that right there. Yes. It's just dropping on. Oh, and the revolving door is manual, automatic revolving. We could be on here all night. Well,
all night. Because she said, this is your season.
Yes.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. The enemy tried to distract you from what God put in front of you. And he's good at what he does. Remember, the enemy got a little notebook on each one of us where he sat back because he can't read hearts. Remember he can't read hearts, but he can read actions and what you say. So watch your words.
Yes,
so he's sitting back and he got a little book on Dr. Tina. Oh, she don't like this when somebody do this. Oh, and he used that stuff against you. And if you don't sit back and look, he end up using your own stuff against you and block you from your blessing. and block you.
Woo! I can't wait to part 2 with Dr. Tina.
Oh my goodness. Well, listen, you all, listen, this has been our first night. Dr. Tina, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for Mr. Curtis.
Oh yeah, my honey.
Yeah, giving us for a little while. And we're so thankful, so thankful. CTR family have been in here. We're supporting you. We're so thankful for what God is doing in your life. And thank you for giving us some things. Yes, we're just part of the journey and we're part of it. And we just see what God is doing.
Jesus.
So, yes, indeed. So listen, if you do want to get in contact with Dr. Tina, you just have that call, have that conversation. Again, that is www.ctrmedianetwork.com. And again, just go through, you'll find the contact, reach out to her. She's definitely touchable and will get you in the path of your journey of whatever it is, whatever, there's a plethora of stuff, the homeschooling, the podcasting training, the coaching, or just to be a podcaster. Okay, we'll certainly put you on that journey. And it is a pleasure. So good night, and thank you so much. You all stay with me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank all of you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Come back for the rest of the event because I am.
Yes, I will be there. Powerful transformation.
Well, listen, Valerie's in the house. Valerie will be one of our speakers. So listen, sis. Oh my goodness, Dr. Tina was phenomenal. Coach Judy was great. So if we're starting out our first night, audience, we want you to meet us back here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. That will be 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be with prayer and devotional. And then we will be starting with our first keynote. And you'll want to definitely be prepared for her. She is none other than Dr. Yolanda Churchwell. She will be providing us information. Dr. Churchwell is a knowledgeable coach in the area of finance and helping you declutter areas in your life and putting things in organization. So she will be coming through around 8:30 a.m. Then we will have our sponsor, the couple, Keith and Dr. Cantandria Dempsey. As you recall, they are one of our sponsors, but they are coaches and they're authors. They're #1 bestsellers. They have a book that they're a part of, The Caregiver. And so that is their area of expertise. So if you want to come and gather some nuggets in the area of health and wellness and meals, cooking together, bringing your family together, the cookbook that they have is Cooking to Heal. And then who else do we have tomorrow morning? Then, yes, all the way out of Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Wilmington, North Carolina. We know her as a 7-figure. She is a business and anthology strategist. But I am talking about the phenomenal Crystal Cunningham. And Crystal will be coming through. I'm super excited to have her come through. And she will be joining us on tomorrow morning as well. So she is the 6-figure anthology strategist, personal development coach, author, speaker, and a coach personal development. She helps you in your personal development as well. Then we will have from California, Valerie C. Thompson. She's a visionary author as well, speaker, podcaster, and then we'll be wrapping up our morning session. So I'm going to put up the itinerary. We're going to get that out so you all will see it. You'll be able to plug in, but we're going to be running pretty much all day, but that's our morning. How you feeling, girl? How you
I'm feeling it. It's hard hosting and taking notes at the same time when it's meant for you.
As Chris Brown's song says, how you feeling? Y'all didn't think I listened to Chris Brown, did you? But anyway,
amazing.
Sanders, yes, our we are an award-winning show, and Coffee Conversations and Book Talks with Sandy. This is our quarterly tour. What a night of kicking kicking it off. And so I'm just thankful, God, coming through. I was back here in tears, and I'll share all of that as we see what God has been saying. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. She says, this was great. Certainly, we're having an amazing time. Yes, this was great. And yes, Dr. Tina brought it. And yes, she brought it and she gave us some nuggets, things that the goal is. One, to get you connected. Two, is we don't want you to wait until 2024. Both of these ladies, Dr. Judy, definitely gave us some things. And don't be afraid to go into a territory with young people. Okay?
All right.
All those things. And she says that surviving the storm and that we should look to hear from God for ourselves and activating our faith. So what a way to begin our tour. Coaches who are tour, these are some phenomenal tour authors and coaches. So we're going to end it with, let's do a little word of prayer. And we're going to head on up out of here. Go ahead, sis, and give us a quick word of prayer. We're going to head out. You all have a great night. Be prepared. I know you're coming back in. We'll be on. So come in when you can with your coffee and your notebook and all of your, listen, as they tell you in the conference center, you go grab that Continental and then you head on over into the conference room, okay? All right, so you're going to go ahead and lead us out in prayer.
Yes, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to endow on your word tonight, to actually open up our hearts so that we may receive what it is that you would have us to receive for not only us, God, but for the people that you have assigned us to. We thank you for our host tonight, my sister Sandy. We thank you for all the other guest speakers tonight. And God, I just continue to ask that you would continue to guard, God, and protect us and keep us throughout this night and any other night. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Do want to let you know, Paula Denicourt, who has been in our audience, she's going to be speaking tomorrow afternoon. We have an afternoon session running from 3 to 5, so a 2-hour session. We're pretty tight there, but we've got some amazing authors. Coach Judy talked about her book, Activating Your Faith. Well, those authors are going to be in the house on tomorrow afternoon, starting with the phenomenal Dr. Jonas Gatson. Then we will have Jolene, and then we will have Tiffany, Darlene, Paula, as I mentioned, and Natasha. So they're coming through. They want you to know how to activate your faith. So we'll be doing that. And just quickly, in our night session, we did add another person from the CTR Media Network. Vanessa, podcaster Vanessa, will be joining us tomorrow night. She's going to be suing it up. But I want you to hear from the author. Her name is Sharon Robinson. She may be sharing some of her story, but she was human trafficked. And she has a book out. And she also is part of a couple of anthology projects. So she's going to be sharing with us. So that's who that is. She's she's a head over a nonprofit organization that helps women and men who are human trafficked. And so a credible story. I've heard her story. I've talked with her, and she's a dear friend. And so you all spread the word. Look out for the post. Everything.
Spread the word.
Yeah. Well, listen, you all have a great night. Get some rest, and we will meet you back here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless. As always, y'all know that I love you.
I love you.
In the green room, y'all stay with us, and we will see you in the audience. Someone reached out and said they would love to be on the tour. Reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook, and I would love to get you the information. I didn't have your name, but you were interested. You're a coach or an author. I would love to chat with you and see how we can get you on the show. But as always, guys, God bless. Y'all have a great night. Bye. Take care.
You are now listening to CTR Media Network.
What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above all. Never lasting. Motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health, and see if we
The podcast on CTR Media Network. That's me. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks to her, my podcast is doing great.
350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence, all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far, you know. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
That you are this unique being that has something to offer to the world.
Exactly.
That's where your self-worth, and it is going to go back to the childhood. There is going to be gaps in it all goes back to the childhood, but they say you don't need to stay there. We have the power, this understanding as a human beings.
Right.
We have tremendous power. We have freedom to choose, but that comes responsibility. So you need to be responsible.
Absolutely.
So that's your responsibility to be able to choose. Either you are choosing, and everyone is choosing anyway, either you're choosing to be a victim and complain and blame, or you are choosing to be a powerful leader in your life and just create life how you want it to be.
Be true to yourself.
Feel true to yourself. So that's the authentic awareness. So it's like authenticity. From ontological point of view, that's basically the Bean framework. So it doesn't mean that if you're authentic, you tell everything to everyone. You know, there's some moments that you don't disclose everything. But authenticity, it's mainly telling truth to yourself.
Yes.
Stop lying yourself.
Exactly. You don't have to convince anybody.
Tell yourself, like, I can't, this is not me. Oh, no, it's just the system. You know, instead of just settling back and starting asking yourself questions.
That's right. That's right. Now that ties into the concept of assertiveness. Is I know they're connected, and peel that layer for us of how significant it is.
Well, assertiveness is a big one. It was a big one for me. And assertiveness is the heart of communication. Communication in your personal, love, intimate relationships, communication in your business, because the heart of everything is relationships. And if you haven't been assertive in one of those relationships, you're not going to be assertive in anything else. So what assertiveness is not? Every time you are defensive, you are arrogant, you are sarcastic, or you are too nice, too agreeable.
Mhm.
This is not assertiveness. Assertiveness is basically, it comes all to saying your authentic yes and your authentic no without emotional outbursts, without attachment to anything. In any circumstances, in any situations, you are free to say, you are free to express yourself without what others going to think of you. Here you express your point of view, not by being pushy, trying to make someone to be a certain way, because you can't anyway, but just expressing yourself. So it's firm, direct, upfront, decisive. You know your intentions, you know your worth, you clear. And then when you get into that middle life, which was assertiveness is, that energy, then whatever you're going to say, yes or no, even if they don't like it, they will know that you mean it.
Wow. Well, and as you were talking, I was thinking about it's so easy to be influenced by others. And then where's your true self in that? Is this one's telling you this one's telling you that, this one's is telling you how to think. And you were bombarded with these messages. And then where does that leave the authentic self? And how to reclaim our inner self? It's hard work.
It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but look, I am ordinary woman and I did it. But it requires commitment. Exactly. It does require commitment and having a vision. A lot of people these days, they do not have a vision. If you don't have a vision, it's like you're blind, you're lost. You need to have that vision, and like what do you want to do in life? Like who do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? I had this thing that I always, even when I was still working back in corporate a few years ago, I always had the vision, okay, so I don't see myself in 10 years. Where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? A lot of people, they're very short-sighted. And if you look only 1 year ahead how to go on holiday somewhere on the beach, then obviously you are not going to go far. And in your personal relationships, assertiveness is so important, because if you are not able to step up and demand assertively respect, the other half is not going to respect you.
Yes, exactly.
If you're going to do it aggressively, I did it. That's why my marriage failed, but it was unhealthy anyway. But I was too nice at the beginning, and then I figured out being too nice is not working, so then I became aggressive.
Right. And I think that's not uncommon. You start out being very nice, and as women, our natures are we're very nice, we're caring, we're nurturing, but then there's a limit.
There is a limit, and then you become aggressive because you don't know how to be assertive, you don't know how to step up and say your authentic yes, your authentic no, demand the request, and request commitment, request response.
Right, exactly.
So I didn't know how to. I know it now, and my life became so much easier, even in setting boundaries, and doing everything assertively becomes like you are in flow. And that's like you said, we need to. It's working from within, because if you're going to be influenced too much with what others say, this said, and the TV said, and this said, and this said, and you don't go inside and listen to what you intuitively know, you will be just manipulated all the time.
Exactly.
You will be the victim of the circumstances.
Yeah, you're like a puppet, and you're the string.
Like a puppet.
Yeah. And you're getting the commands, and you're moving, and you're not true to yourself.
That's it. And a lot of people, I think, they do realize it, because you do hear sometimes people saying, "Oh, I knew it. I knew it, but I didn't act on it because I was telling lies to myself. I wasn't authentic with myself."
Exactly.
So that's why authenticity, like in ontology, we call it exposure triangle, and that's authenticity, that's vulnerability and awareness. It all starts with awareness, because if you're not fully aware, then you're sleepwalking. And then it's authenticity and vulnerability, because it requires vulnerability to be authentic with yourself. You need to be open.
Exactly. And that's when they say the light bulb goes on. That's the first step. The light bulb has to go on, but then you need to examine and study and really, really dive deep.
You need to dive deep, yeah. And that requires commitment. Like I just had a call with someone yesterday, and that person said, yeah, I know I can't commit. And a lot of people, I see that a lot of people cannot commit. And that's you need to commit. If you want to achieve something, you need to commit. Otherwise, you're going to be wavering in and out of your life, and then just blaming and complaining, waiting for something outside of you to happen. So then it comes as well understanding that thinking paradigm, and that is going to tie it into your financial thermostat. So the thinking paradigm we adopted through the years is, I need to have something, money, whatever, then I can do, and then I can be happy. Which is, it's exactly the reverse. First, I am being that leader, that authentic person in my life, that I'm going to do what needs to be done, and then I'm going to have what I want to have. So it's focusing on being integrous. And integrity, I refer to integrity, not some moral act like being on time at work, but integrity with your aspects of being, which again comes to authenticity. It comes to vulnerability.
Exactly. Again, it goes back to being true to yourself.
Yeah, it all goes back. Because if you're going to be true to yourself, you'll connect to your self-worth.
That's right. But until you're aware, you can't, you're going through the motions.
Yeah, that's the moods, is understanding the moods. Like in ontological model, we classify moods on 4 main moods, and it's fear, anxiety, care, and vulnerability. So it's basically your relation, how you relate, for example, to fear. Can you be with fear and still go ahead and do what you want to do, or you are letting your fear to suppress your unique being?
Wow. And I would imagine a lot of people are driven by fear.
It's all about, and it's all the fear. And under fear, there's always going to be guilt and shame.
Exactly.
That's a guilt and shame. And it basically goes to one of the primary aspects of being. It's forgiveness. And it's forgiveness, not like a moral act. I need to forgive that person because it's a good thing to do, because they taught me that at school. But it's forgiveness, not a logical process. It's forgiveness because you want to free yourself.
Right, exactly.
But it's also forgiveness here, that person. That is like something for me was a big one. It's forgiving myself, because everything we've done in the past, and I've been talking recently to someone, and that person is still holding some shame to what is right and what is wrong, what that person has done in their 20s. And it's understanding that whatever you did in the past, you did this level of conscious awareness you had, and you would have done it anyway.
Yep, exactly.
So there is no right or wrong. So in ontology, we are not classifying that something is right or something is wrong. It's just what it is, because it is what it is.
Right, right.
It's like what happened, you can't change it, and you would do it anyway. So if you continue doing the same thing over and over again, then it's something different. But once you say what is, you understand who you have been, and you have been doing what you've been doing, then you can change it, you can shift that.
Exactly.
Forgiving yourself, because it's your shadow side, and we all have shadow side. We all have them.
Talk about that for a minute. Define that for our audience, because some may have not heard the term, the shadow self, the shadow side.
So we all have, so basically the shadow side is like, let's say, the shadow side of vulnerability. So the shadow side of vulnerability is going to be, I am going to create a safe boundaries around myself so that no one can get in, and I'm going to stay in my known comfortable environment. That's a shadow side. Not being able to be taking criticism personally.
Right.
That is going to be the shadow side. For example, not being, not having capabilities. I don't know. Let's say you work somewhere and you don't have enough knowledge. Let's say just accounting, and you don't have enough knowledge in taxes or something. So, and there is maybe position offering you want to do it. So this is your shadow side. If you're not vulnerable about it, this is going to be your shadow side. So your shadow side is not lack of knowledge, because you can learn it, but your shadow side that you're not open about.
If you're not
Try
open,
to hide it. You try to hide it.
right? You tried to hide it.
You try to hide it, and then you try to control. So as I said, you try to control and manipulate to get what you want a different way.
Yeah.
So that's not being open. That's not being authentic with yourself.
Right, exactly. Exactly. It is, it's all really fascinating.
So, and understanding that, it's like understanding, what is your shadow side, and when you are. So that's why it's like a healthy relationship is your aspects of being. Because each aspect of being is it's like even confidence, the shadow side of confidence is going to be bravado. It's going to be pretending, I can do whatever.
That's right.
So that would be a shadow side. So that's understanding that, and then catching yourself, because it's not like, you're going to be perfect all the time, but it's more like being able to catch yourself. Like anxiety is going to be
catching
anxiety
yourself. It's so important.
Catching yourself and bringing you back to present moment, to now.
Exactly.
Because anxiety is going to be a shadow side as well, like what happened just to me recently. Because I do, as a business owner, and I'm a single mom, I do go through uncertainties all the time. And all of a sudden, it was like in my head, oh, what if that goes wrong? And what if that goes wrong? And what is this? And I was just like, oh, okay, let's just stop. Because I have the power to choose. If something goes wrong, I am resourceful and I will figure it out. But that's basically,
you caught yourself consciously.
Yeah, consciously. That's basically catching yourself, because if you don't, it runs you there all the time. And the shadow side of resourcefulness, for example, a lot of people misunderstand resourcefulness. I didn't understand what resourcefulness is. They think they need to have resources, which studying high achievers, that's the ontological model that I'm working with, all the high achievers, they're going to say, you need to be resourceful, not necessarily having resources. So again, like
resourceful, you pull from within on your own internal, right? Your characteristics, your traits, and you create
your being. Yeah, that's your being. And then at the beginning, maybe you need to tap into other people's resources before you have resources. That's how it all works. And that comes to contribution. So the shadow side, for example, of primary ways of being as contribution, that's what I had. I wasn't allowing people to contribute to me for a long time.
Wow.
Because I thought that I can do it on my own. And that was coming from my relationship in my unhealthy marriage. Because as I've been shut down, then I understood, okay, I'm on my own, I'll do it myself. I don't need anyone, which is a shadow side. We all need one another.
Exactly.
And it's being able to contribute and also let others to contribute to you. And that's where gratitude comes in. So you're feeling grateful that someone is contributing to you, allowing. So that's all of the shadow side of each. There is like 31 aspects of being.
Wow. 31 aspects of being.
Yeah. That's the higher.
That's incredible.
And that's
absolutely incredible.
And that understanding them, it's like having a model. Because I found in myself that as a neurochange practitioner, I've been doing a lot of work and doing meditations and all of these things. And it's good because it puts you, it centers you, it puts you in a certain way of being. But if you don't have a model, if you don't understand your ways of being, it doesn't matter what meditations you do, you're going to get up and you're going to get back to your old self.
Oh, that's the risk.
And so that's basically, so when people do meditations or whatever, I've been actually talking to someone recently, but then they get up and basically nothing is changing and they don't understand their ways of being, their behavior, they just revert back. So with each meditation you do, you need to have a model of being. You need to know who and how do you want to be today in relationship with yourself and then with everyone. In a relationship with money. It's like going back to money as well. If you do not know how to be in control of your emotions, you're not going to be in control of money. Money is going to have control of you because you're going to be spending on things you don't need. And I went through it myself. We actually spend much more than we need to spend.
Exactly.
Because we see this nice ad and we see that and we say, oh, I need that because that is going to help me. Which is not understanding that it's just commercials they want to sell. But everything you need is already here inside.
Exactly.
That's what you need.
And that the money doesn't fulfill you. It's you are fulfilled from within.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why, like, even like talking about financial thermostat, you can see that people who win lotto, quite a lot of them actually, they win lotto, and then within a year or two, they're back to their financial thermostat.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how much money they have, they're going to be back.
Wow.
So it is never, this is why this is never about money. It's nothing to do with anything. It's just a tool. Just a tool that provides you here in our 3D reality to enjoy things, to do what we want to do because we need money. If we want to have, decent house and healthy food, we need money for that. But it's never about
money. Right.
And it's all like, in reverse because we've been conditioned this way, we've been wired this way. And it's, that's all that, like in ontology, we talk about 3 layers of reality. And that's basically where authentic awareness is coming from. The first layer of reality is universe or absolute. So you need to understand this layer of reality, like law of gravity. You're not going to try to fly from the roof because you know that you will die.
Exactly.
Authentic awareness. So then the second layer of reality, that's basically our government and all this man-made constructs like money. So that you need to understand that money is a man-made, and you don't need to be sucked into that reality. You can influence the outcome that you want. And then the third layer of reality, that's basically reality you create in your head. That's the stories you tell to yourself about yourself. That's your beliefs and opinions.
Wow. This is so interesting and so significant. Help our audience understand if they want to learn more. Where do they learn? Where can they learn?
So what they can learn, where can they start? There is a really good book written by Ashkan Tashwir, and it's a human being book. It's like about 300 pages. For someone who really likes reading, there is another book, and it's Being the Source of Power. So this is there's 700 pages. It's a big book, but I love reading it. And that's my Bible. So do not, if you want to learn something, stop listening to TV and go and do some research. Buy this book so you can understand your primary ways of being. your relationship with your moods, you can understand you're a human being.
Mhm.
And you can also have a look on beingprofile.com, and that's basically how I work with clients using that model so they can break through and achieve whatever they want to achieve in life. But
Mhm.
without understanding and learning, it's just not possible. So
Wow.
it does require commitment, it does require time. But I think it's important for people to ask themselves question, what is it costing me now
Right.
not to take responsibility for that part of my life
Mhm.
and keep complaining and blaming? And what would be possible
Mhm.
if I will take responsibility?
Mhm.
What would be then be possible?
Mhm. Mhm.
And there is no shortcut. But I know one thing that, it doesn't matter if you want to start a business or you want to heal, like whatever you want to do, you need to ask yourself, okay, if you're going to talk about health, if I'm going to take that drug, and I probably will have to take after that drug, another drug, and then another drug.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what is it costing? How I'm going to be in 10 years? What is going to happen to me in 10 years' time if I'm going to keep taking the drugs?
Mhm.
Or I'm going to make a decision to learn about myself,
Mhm. Mhm.
to study my ways of being. And it might take me, I don't know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But if I do that, where I'm going to be in 10 years? That's the question I was asking myself when I was very sick.
Wow.
And I never allowed take any drugs. I actually have nocebo effect. Like you have people with placebo effect. So I have nocebo effect. As soon as I see the thing, I already feel all the side effects.
Wow. Wow.
So I
Yeah,
can't
and
even
they talk
think
about that, the placebo effect. Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
the placebo, placebo is big now, it's just like everyone knows. And I think with everything as well, like a lot of people these days, because they are looking for quick fix.
Exactly.
So they see, the shiny thing, and they see only the upsides to it. So they are not conscious aware of the downside, which
Mhm.
everything has upside and downside. Everything has both sides, doesn't matter what it is. And now when you center it, now you know. And now you can make clear decisions. So you are
Mhm.
not making decisions by your emotions, polarized by fear,
Mhm.
anxiety, and then, too excited because it's so shiny.
Well, and that's so significant. I mean, so much today is driven by emotions.
And that's what they do in the advertising. They know how to trigger your emotions. I mean, that's how advertising is made.
Exactly.
But again, you can choose. You're not a powerless victim of your circumstances. You actually create your experience. The circumstances, they are what they are. They're always changeable. They will change. But your experience, you're in charge of that.
That's right.
And I think it's like people don't, because again, it's emotional state, being uncomfortable.
Exactly.
That requires you a lot of time being uncomfortable, having uncomfortable conversations, and being okay if you do not get what you want straight away. Understanding that you are influencing the outcome.
Exactly.
Then you are getting in flow with life.
And getting outside our comfort zone. That is so critical. But who wants to do that?
That's the human problem. That's the problem of all society. They're just going to stay comfortable, even if they're not happy. They're going to stay in this unhealthy relationships because they are comfortable there. And then they're going to say, I can't do it because I have kids. I'm going to wait until they go to college or they go to university. I've got mortgage to pay. So, which is like everyone has opportunity and a choice. You just need to trust it.
Right.
Because I was talking myself out like that for years. It was like, I can't do that because, my daughter is now dead. I can't do that because how I'm going to pay the marriage. I can't do that because, I'm going to be a single mom. How I'm going to do it? And I can tell you that everything is possible.
Wow.
Because
And
there
that
is
was your path to wellness. I mean, you healed.
that's your path to wellness, because the environment you stay in is very important. Either it's work, either it's relationship. If your environment is not empowering you, it's not inspiring you, it's not supportive of you, you will be dying. And you are choosing it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, why people end up when they're in their 70s, this Alzheimer and all of these things. It's all to do with, the lack of dopamine in the brain. Where dopamine is coming, that's your level of happiness, it's your level of gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there has been a lot of scientific and psychological studies. There's enough evidence.
Oh, there's no question. There's no
You know,
question.
there's no question anymore. I think everyone knows that, but again, it's too scary. And they tell, oh, they can do it, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have something special, but I don't. And honestly, I was telling that to myself, and this is just not true.
Wow.
Because we all have that unique being in just understanding how to tap into them, how to remove all of this, peeling the onion, and
Exactly.
letting go. Because when you let go, there is opportunities and possibilities. And then being present to these possibilities, because they do require to take risk. And that's where confidence comes in, because confidence starts with trusting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't trust yourself, how others will trust you?
Right. That's exactly right.
That's like,
So you help people through this process?
Yeah, I support people. Like, I can't transform them myself, but I support them in transformational journey. I support them each step of the way, but they need to do the work. I can't do the work for them. So they need to do the work.
Right, right. So do you have classes, or is it coaching, or what?
So it's one-on-one. At the moment, it's one-on-one coaching. So I usually do with people first using the ontological model. So I do with people debrief. So they're kind of getting a picture, exactly a picture where they are at, right? So once they have this awareness of where they are at, they can move towards their future them and start to see things from their deeper human qualities, from authentic view. And then they are working on bringing that being into aliveness.
Wow.
And that's where, like the energy levels I just had yesterday, someone talking to me, and that person is just like, I'm tired. All I want to do is just, sleep, and I'm just so tired. And that's why the ontological approach and the bin profile, it's not, there is a lot of psychological tools, and a lot of people done different things. And I think there is one thing called HSP, is highly sensitive personality or something like that. And this is a myth, because so I am very highly sensitive. I do sense energies, and I used to get very tired. I used to get very tired if I had confrontations, if I was in a large group of people. I used to get like exhausted, and I'm not anymore. And this comes again, if you become your true authentic self, and you are not preoccupied what you need to say to that person and what you need to reply to that person if they ask you that, you are just true your authentic self.
Wow.
Then all of a sudden you draw this energy, you draw it from inside, you have that energy, because everything that occupies time and space in our mind, all of this, inauthenticities and lies, it takes energy. It takes energy from us, it drains us.
Absolutely. Wow.
So this is
That's
why, like, it's so important to understand. So majority of people drag themselves from bed, and it's because like their body is saying, "Oh yeah, nothing exciting is going to happen today. It's going to be like, you know, every day." But once you tap into that unique being,
Exactly.
it's like something wakes up in you. It's like
Exactly.
it's like something wakes up in you, and doesn't matter. It's like nothing really changes outside of you, but something wakes up in you, and you have this energy to create.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And that's something innate in us. You know, it's something like the humans that we do have that.
Yes.
It's dreaming there because we are captivated by our fears and anxieties and lack of vulnerability, lack of care, because if there is lack of vulnerability, there is going to be lack of care. The shadow side of care, it's like when you stop caring, you numb yourself. Like I numb myself for a long time because I saw that if I numb myself, I'm not going to feel anything, but I'm going to be safe.
Right, exactly.
Well, no, because I got very sick because I numbed myself.
You did, yeah, you did.
So that's how all my disease that I had appeared, and they were not genetic. No one in my family had them. So all of this genetic thing is me as well.
Yeah.
And there is scientific evidence about that as well. There's only 2% of disease are genetic.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
Wow. But it's like the spirit within you that ignites.
The spirit within you, yeah. So your unique being, it's either you refer to it, your soul, your higher self, your spirit, you know, that's that. And that basically having this authentic awareness is the first layer of reality. That there is existence beyond our existence.
Exactly.
And there is like something, you know, everything is growing and sun is coming and going down and coming up. So no one controls it. There is a higher power.
Exactly.
And we all have it inside. We are all connected to it if you choose to.
If you're open to it.
If you're open to it, yeah. If you choose to be receptive, then you will also see all the messages, because messages are everywhere. Now there is heaps of messages in this podcast. And it's a question how many people are going to be receptive of that message.
Exactly. Well, this is absolutely fascinating. Julie, where can our listeners read more about you, learn more about you, and possibly even reach out to you?
Yeah, so I am on LinkedIn. I work solely on LinkedIn. So there is say Julie Pere LinkedIn.com. I can put the link.
Yeah, we'll connect you. We'll connect that link.
So I basically have on LinkedIn. There is also a website that they can book a call through the website. They can write me email, julie@infiniteintelligence.coach.
That's
exciting. They can have a look at the BIM profile, so they can see it's bimprofile.com, so they can see what we are doing and how it's helping people. And yeah, I would love to hear from someone from your community.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. We'll have those links at the bottom of the show.
Yeah, cool. That's great. Yeah. That's the places you can find me. Yeah, it's LinkedIn and my email through my website.
Wonderful. Okay, any final words?
Any final words? I just want really for everyone who's listening to this podcast to ask themselves a question. How and who do I want to be today? How do I want to be today with myself, with my boss, with my kids? Where do I want to be, in 5 years?
Wow, and it's a great time to ask.
And it's a great time to ask. And like every night, before you go to bed, just sit down for 5-10 minutes, doesn't require a long time, and ask yourself how I have been today.
Yes.
Not to shame or blame yourself, but just to observe. So tomorrow you can be better. And forgive yourself. don't forget to forgive yourself on your shadow sides, because that's the only way you're going to grow. You cannot grow and polish your shadow side if you're not open.
Mhm. Words of wisdom, truly words of wisdom. So Julie, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. And there's a lot of content here. So I know our listeners are going to go back and watch this, numerous times to soak it in.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to your audience.
Wonderful. We really appreciate it. So, all right. Well, we'll close, and Julie, we'll stay in touch, and
Definitely.
hope our listeners will reach out to you as well. All right. Wonderful work you're doing.
Thank you, Mary. Have a good day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The world is hurting right now, and it's time to rise up. As we lift ourselves up in body, mind, and spirit, we can reach out to others and be a light in a sea of darkness. Welcome to the Movement for Global Health with your host, Dr. Mary Zenit.
Our topic today, creating a healthy business. Joining us is business leader and mentor, Mr. Joe Nicasio. For over 20 years, Joe has been on a quest to discover the essential ingredients of a thriving business. Through his own trials and tribulations, he has learned principles, strategies, and laws of business, and has learned what works and what doesn't work. One of his testimonials, quote, "I have witnessed Joe helping tons of business owners and increase their sales and take some from homeless to very successful. You can't go wrong by hiring Joe to be part of your marketing team and business," unquote. Joe is known as the world's best business problem solver. And with that, is an absolute privilege to introduce to you Mr. Joe Nicasio.
Thank you, Dr. Mary. I'm glad to be here. I think we should have some fun talking about this topic today.
Absolutely. And I know that our audience it'll stir up questions. We've got tons of business owners. They have tons of good quality, very high quality products and services to offer. So anything you can shed light on, I know will be most helpful.
And I want to encourage people that if you do have questions, I'll answer what we can here today in a generic fashion, but everything's a little bit personal. And so as we talk, you start thinking about your personal situation, reach out. Let's have that conversation. So yeah, I think it's really important to be very deliberate about what we do. I ask people all the time, what's the purpose of a business? And people say to make money. And the truth is that's the wrong focus. The truth of the purpose of a business is to create customers. It's that human being that we serve, and we make their life better in exchange for the compensation. Yeah, we want to make the money, but we
Mhm.
also want to do meaningful work and improve their life. And so I would say the first thing is that it doesn't take money to make money. It takes customers. And without customers, you don't have a business at all.
Mm.
And we need to kind of build a bridge between what I do to that human being that we're going to serve and make their life better in exchange for that money. And so
Mhm.
I would say that's the first life-changing thing that you can do is stop focusing on the money and start
Mhm.
focusing on the human being that will pay you to pay, that will pay you for your value that you add to them. The second, the second misconception I think is that we all want to make money. It takes money to make money, and it doesn't. It takes that human being. So
Mhm.
there's actually a lot of misconceptions, but I want to pass it back to you and let you guide this conversation through your questions, Mary.
Well, I think that in and of itself is so huge because people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And
Mhm.
having those touch points and having that focus on what your listeners need. But I think that's where it helps, because I've heard you speak about drilling down into who are you talking to? Who is your target audience? So how do you help our listeners navigate? Because it gets complex.
Sure. I think the number one reason people fail in business is they're not even in the right business in the first place. And so,
Mm.
so, if you're going to build a home, do you start with the roof? No. Do you start with the foundation?
Mm.
No. You start with a raw piece of land, and then you have a vision. You start having visions. Oh, I could build, you sketch out, oh, I got 10 different sketches,
Mhm.
different ideas of what I can do with this land. And then we create a blueprint, and something that City Hall will approve as safe and something that
Mhm.
fits in with the neighborhood. So I think a lot of people say, well, I'm going to just jump into business and I'll
Mhm.
build a foundation, and they don't have a plan. And so I think it's really important to take that step backwards and say, what business am I in?
Mhm.
I'm in the business. I'm not only in the business of helping people create a business that works, but if we're going to build a business, why not build a dream business?
Mhm.
Something that you wake up every day saying, I love what I do and I'm good at what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And so then there's this question of who do I love working with? And so that kind of slips into your question about, your avatar. Who do you want to work with?
Mhm.
One of the shortcuts, if your goal is to help, welfare moms that have 7 children and haven't worked in 7 years, you're going to probably have a hard time getting paid. One of the greatest shortcuts in business is market to the affluent.
Mm.
you know it's easier to build a business with customers that have means than to focus on people that don't have means.
Mhm.
And, and so uh and so I use a process, I call it asset sculpting and value sculpting. And asset sculpting starts with, what are your skills, what are your talents, what are your abilities, what are your magic, what is your training, what are you good at?
Mhm.
Let's kind of sculpt that into something that you wake up every day saying, I love what I do and I'm good at what I'm doing and
Mhm.
I'm using my superpowers and I'm making a difference for others. And then value sculpting, you can't just do what you love. You got to do what you love for yourself and the customers you serve, the people that pay you. And so value sculpting is looking at looking at your business from the marketplace's point of view, saying, why should I buy from you? And what's the value of what you offer? And
Mhm.
getting them to say, aha, that is valuable. That is worthwhile. I'll pay money for that. And so we want to sculpt what we have as to something I love. And then we need to look at it from the viewpoint of, and will people pay for it? And then
Mhm.
who do we like working with? I think a good criteria for business is money, service, and fun. I think too many people have an agenda in business to make a buck, to get a sale. If you get a sale, you win, but if you don't get a sale, you lose. And then, not everybody's our customer. And so if we feel like we walk away, somebody doesn't buy from us, we feel like we've lost, that's bad energetics. And so one of the things I've discovered is, what if we changed our agenda to getting, our agenda is to get a sale and we can lose with that agenda. Why not create an agenda where we win every time? And that's the agenda of getting to the truth of a good fit. And the truth of a good fit means if you become my client, I win. If the truth is you're a good client for me and you want to pay me, that's great. And if the truth is you're not a good client, I also win because I win every time I get to the truth. And so
Well, that's a really good way to look at it. So your focus is, in pursuit of the truth.
yeah. And so what is the truth of a good fit? And I think these are three universals. Number one is, can they pay me? They can't pay me, it's not a good fit. Number two is, can I actually be of service to them and help them get a good result?
Right.
I can't get somebody a good result, even if you can pay me all the money in the world, it's not a good fit.
Right.
And the third one is, do I actually like them? If I can help you and you can pay me money, but you're a little Hitler, you're a nasty person, like I don't want to, the truth is that's not a good fit for me. But here's the thing, if I like you and I can give you great results and you can pay me, the payoff for you is I'll be a massive contribution. I will pour my heart and soul into you. I will pour my love, my caring, my expertise. I'll hold your hand. I'll help you connect the dots. And so we have an agenda, truth of a good fit. We have some criteria, and then there's a payoff. So that's, I think if everybody did that, they say, okay, I want to know who's a good fit. I need to have some criteria for that. And what am I going to give them? How am I going to change their lives? I think that's a wonderful starting place.
There, right there. How will I change their lives for the better?
Yeah.
That's
And
huge.
So good. It feels so good. I transform employees. I help you build a better business. If you're in business already, I help you improve your marketing and your sales and your process. And I do some things to help you with hire, gain, train, and retain help. You got to recruit people, you got to train them, and you got to keep them around. I help existing business owners, but one of the things I do is I transform employees into entrepreneurs so they never have to go back to that soul-sucking job. Let me tell you a story about somebody that's a client of mine currently. She hired me about a year ago, and she had 3 jobs. She had a full-time job and 2 part-times, and the company was like laying off people, and they were pouring more work onto her. And she's got a husband that works, and she hired me, and she's like, Joe, I want to quit my job. I want to have my own thing so I can quit my job, and I want to eventually help retire my husband. And we've been working together, and it was about, I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago. She said, Joe, I'm making enough money now. I feel confident I can leave my job. So I asked her, are you making enough that's replacing your income from your job? She said, no, not quite, but I can't, if I stay here any longer, I'm going to kill somebody, and killing people isn't nice. I got to get out. And I'm making enough that I've proven I can make money.
Wow.
And so she quit her full-time job, and she quit one of her part-time jobs that she now has a business. And now we're helping her take it to the next level. But you have, like, it's so fulfilling to me to know that I'm helping her make that transition and make that transition successfully, and knowing that now she was so stressed out before. And, the first thing I said is, after she was on the job, she was still kind of stressed. And I said, you need to take a spa day, go get a massage, go treat yourself, go have some good meals, and, pamper yourself a little, because you got to get a little of that. You got to wash some of that yuck off of you and detox a little bit and start feeling some of the yum again. But it's fulfilling knowing that, yes, I'm making money, but I'm also changing lives, and that is so fulfilling.
Absolutely. Well, working 3 jobs alone, How long can you do that?
Well, she did it for a long time. I don't think it's unsustainable. I think it's unsustainable. I tell people, stop working for the man, be the man. Unless you're a woman, stop working for the boss, be the boss. And she's got freedom now. She's got a lot more freedom, and she's having more fun with her husband, and they take days off together, and it's wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome. And that, like you said, it's so fulfilling for you.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I've learned, this is so important. Success is a me thing. I made a bunch of money, okay? But fulfillment is a we thing. I made money and I made somebody's life better. And that's the stuff. When I lay my head on the pillow at night, it feels yummy. It's like I did good in the world today, Success is a me thing. Fulfillment's a we thing.
Wow. Wow. And the things you're talking about, like you said, yeah, people need to pay you, but that fulfillment, that intangible, it's just so significant. It's not about, I think too many of us, you lived in the world long enough, we're just sick of these quick sales. We feel like we're being used and sold a bill of goods, get an inferior product. So enough people are just fed up with it. I honor that, I really do. But then how do you not shut your mind off? It's like, now, wait a minute. How do I differentiate quality from, like you say, a quick sale? So there's got to be a process internally to help us do that.
Well, Jim Rohn, he had the best little phrase about business ethics. He said, money at the service of others is good. Money at the expense of others is evil. Okay. If somebody's getting hurt along the way, you're right. How many times do we spend money? I'm going to be a little bit off color here. How many times do we spend money on crap that didn't work?
Exactly.
It feels bad. People promise us all the promises in the world, but then I just had somebody 15 minutes ago send me a message. It's like, I can grow your business with social media. I can help you get clients through social media. It's like, oh, really? Do you guarantee results? You guarantee I'll get clients? Well, no, I don't guarantee clients. So why do you say they're going to help me get clients when you're not guaranteeing I'm going to get clients? See, you can't say that, like there's an exchange. I will solve your problems and you will pay me gratefully and generously. And if you're promising to solve a problem, but then you don't do anything to make good on that promise, what good are you? And I think, one of the greatest, I met a guy, I did Toastmasters for many years, gosh, probably like 30 years ago. I did Toastmasters, and we had a guest speaker. He was a guy that came in from South Africa. And he was a land baron. He was very, very wealthy. And, I just asked him, kind of an off the cuff question, what's the secret to success? And he said 3 words: deliver the goodies. Deliver the goodies. It's like, wow. It's like, make a promise, keep a promise, have integrity, do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it every single time. And you know what? You start establishing Nina hired me, and I helped her quit her job, client results is the new marketing. See, the thing is not only did she hire me, not only did I help her get a result, but she will say good things about me because I kept my promise to her. She started her business. She's making her own money. She was able to quit her job. And so I think too many people in business, there's too many people that make promises they don't keep. There's also a lot of people that do wonderful things and they don't make a promise at all. And David Ogilvy, who was a great advertising genius, he started Ogilvy and Ogilvy Advertising, which changed into other things over the years. But he said far too many people in advertising don't make a promise. And so what you want to do is, number one, is make a promise. Make the biggest promise you can make that you can deliver on. Okay. And then tone it down a little bit so that it's believable.
Mm.
Even if I can deliver on a great promise, if it's too over the top, it's going to set off your BS meter. You go, BS, big fat lie, and so I want to make big promises. I do make big promises, but I also make sure that here's why. Here's why I can deliver on that.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling,
putting
business,
that little bit
wellness,
of investment into
mental
yourself
health,
and actually learning the professional way of moving, trying to come up and learn the professional way, it makes a 100% difference.
Really, truly, I believe that. I totally agree. Totally agree, Sean. All right. So I want to take this time out to congratulate you on your completion of the 22-week semester course.
Appreciate it.
Yes, you have done an amazing job. Your attendance has been great, Sean. We appreciate all the times. If you were going to be late, you let us know you were going to be late, but you showed up, you showed out, you participated, and we have things in store for you. So number one, we have a KBBU t-shirt that we're going to provide for you. So I'll give you a call after this live and get your shirt size. And
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have an investment that we're going to complete in your new business. Now, I know the name of your business coming up, but we're not going to share that with the audience just yet. But we'll let y'all know when Sean gets his certifications and everything for his business being fully established. And we'll come back and let y'all know what that is. And also, Sean, what we're going to do with the investment, we're actually going to put money into your new company. So once it's established, you'll be able to make money long term for your business. Is that something that you think will be beneficial for you?
Yes,
You're welcome. You're welcome. We also are going to frame your graduation certificate. So you will get a framed graduation certification so that if you are trying to go out into the world and gain a loan, a business loan of any kind, of the business funding that we went over in business credit class, guess what? You already have your certification. So you can present that to a loan officer for your business.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate that. Yes.
You are so welcome. Well, Sean, thank you for coming on, completing this final grade. I know it's a little bit longer time period than the rest of the students and when they graduated, but hey, it's better to be late than never.
I'll get there.
That's right. You're going to get there. You're already there. That's right. So congratulations. I'm so grateful that you came to KBBU, and you're going to be doing some amazing things, and I can't wait to. So thank you for your time, okay?
Yes, ma'am. You have a blessed day.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And this, again, is Michelle Green with KBBU. If you're interested in our business class, you can text "I'm in" to 855-522-8552. And we'll see you in August the 24th. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed bye. I'm here with Chico B.
He definitely is here with me, and congratulations to your success. And what was the name of it again?
CTR Media Network.
CTR Media Network. Make sure y'all tune into that, man. They doing it.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. It's Michelle Green again with Kingdom Builders Business University. I am the founder of this amazing business school. So if you are an entrepreneur or you know someone who is, and you're trying to do business by yourself, you don't have to do that. You can come on over to KBBU and we would love to teach you in business setup, business credit and funding, business management, and business marketing and sales. Yes, yes, yes. We are accepting applications right now for our fall semester course. That's going to be starting August the 23rd through December the 13th of 2023. But we're also, if you don't want to join the classroom setting with a group of other entrepreneurs all across the world, then you can actually do what we call individual strategy sessions. And we would love to help you formulate your business idea, help you with a business plan, help you with getting your LLC or your nonprofit organization or corporation established. We don't do sole proprietors here because you are a business owner. If you are an entrepreneur, we will teach you how to do business the right way. Well, as you can see, I am here in graduation clothing attire again because we have another marvelous graduate for tonight to come before you guys. And we are sharing with you these wonderful individuals that have come through our winter spring semester course, and they are graduating. We have over 20 graduates, so you will be seeing us probably the whole month of June, if not at least halfway through June. And we want to celebrate and congratulate y'all. Help me congratulate and celebrate Miss Shyla Howell. Miss Shyla, welcome to the stage. Hey.
Hello, hello. Yes.
Yes.
Welcome.
All right. So hi, Miss Shyla. How you doing tonight? You doing good?
Hey. Yes, I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to graduate you tonight. So listen, let's tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What's your business? What kind of business do you have and all that good stuff?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shyla Howell. I am originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico, but I reside in Columbia, South Carolina. I am the founder of God-Fearing Daughters, LLC, which is a community-based women's ministry.
Oh, a community-based women's ministry. That
Yes,
sounds incredible. So tell us a little bit about what you do with this community-based ministry. How does it work?
Well, we create a safe space for women, because everybody don't always feel comfortable in church, so we make it easy for them. They're able to share their experiences, their testimonies. We provide resources for them and, self-help things to kind of help them to get down to the root of their issues or problems or difficult situations that they've been going through or dealing with. And we just provide solutions for them. We suggest and provide solutions for them.
I love that. That sounds so encouraging. So what kind of, it sounds like you are catering to people who are women, number one, okay. Mm-hmm. Is there an age limit on the type of woman that you would help?
Yes, right now it's 18 and up.
So 18 and up. So you
yes,
have to be grown, young ladies. You have to be grown, okay, in order to come to Shyla. But some of the things that you're doing is really helping them to stay the course of encouraging them throughout their life, no matter what kind of issues that they are having, is what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's very good. It's something that we all need, because I know as women, we carry a lot. We take on a lot. We try to be super women. I remember telling my daughter just the other day, listen, you are not a superwoman. You don't have to do all of that at one time. She just got moved and she was just saying that, she was trying to get everything situated in 1 hour. I was like, come on, honey, just take a load off. So all of us as women, because we are naturally nurturers and carers, for other people and sometimes not for ourselves, we definitely will need your ministry. So how long have you been in business, Shyla?
Well, it was established in November of 2020. That's when I actually, made it into the business and everything. God actually gave me the vision in 2016.
Okay.
And yeah, I was at work. It was funny because I was at work and I used to always have to sit at the front desk and I would have to keep up with everybody's like schedule and things like that. And we would often have to use like the acronym, well, GFD, when it meant gone for the day. But that day, the Lord put in my spirit, God-fearing daughters. I was like, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That God-fearing daughters, GF. Okay, I got it. That's amazing. God knows all and he sees all. So he knows he knew what he was doing when he gave that to you, acronym. I love that. I love it. So are you having is your ministry in person or is it just online? How would one be able to receive your encouragement?
Online and in person. Right now, I have a God-fearing daughters group where I put something positive, inspirational on there every day. I'm always trying to encourage someone because you just never know what people are dealing with, and just your word of encouragement might help them to get on, hey, to the next day, to the next hour, whatever it is. I think God has always placed that in me. I've been encouraging people ever since I was younger, and it would always be people come to me and tell me their life story, and I didn't understand why at the time. I didn't know that God was preparing me for what He had for me to do, later on. So, yes.
That is amazing. I love that. That's so good. Like, a lot of times I think that we don't realize or recognize that the things that we have are the
Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
All right. So the world's largest customer spends over $7 trillion a year, and 23% of it has to be set aside for small businesses. This is a law that's mandated under the Federal Acquisition Regulations. What is the Federal Acquisition Regulations, as I like to call the FAR? My saying is, if you understand the FAR, you will go far in government contracting. The Federal Acquisition Regulations, all the laws and clauses mandated for government contracting. So that's like the Bible to government contracting. 2,038 pages. My crazy behind read and studied every last page. That's why I'm on this stage, to give you the short version. Right? So your customer spends trillions of dollars on all different services. Of course, freight, hauling, transportation, moving, supplies, janitorial, cleaning, engineering, data analytics. The list goes on of this world largest customer that has to spend $7 trillion plus a year, right? 23% of it set aside for small businesses. What is small business under the FAR? Small businesses having less than 49 employees and or generate under $25 million a year. In most net code industries, that's small business. Don't sound like small business to me, but if that's what the government says, I'm with it, right? So we understand that our status as small business gives us the opportunity to create opportunities for our businesses to scale, right? That's the whole purpose of government contracting, why it exists. It's to help stimulate the small businesses that reside in the United States of America. Our way of stimulating small businesses where you're scaling your business, creating more revenue, that allows you to create job opportunity, job employment, right? Anybody want to create more employees? Anybody want to have more payroll, right? Anybody want to scale their business up and generate more revenue? This is how you do it with doing business with the world's largest customer. How much it costs to do business with the world's largest customer? Absolutely nothing. What I call free 99. The process is having your articles of organization, whether it's the S Corp, C Corp, joint venture, LLC, partnership, however you organize your business, right? Then you have your employee identification number, EIN, Dun and Bradstreet number, business bank account. These are the most important things that you need to register your business on sam.gov. I need y'all to write this down. sam.gov, SAM.gov, System Awards Management. That's what it stands for. This is the process of you registering your business to get your cage code. Your cage code can only be issued by the government, a specific agency, actually, which is called DLA, Defense Logistics Agency. This is the agency that issues you out your cage code as a database for you to be able to do business on a federal level. Once you fill out this process, it takes about 10 business days for you to get that email saying, congratulations, you're now a federal contractor. Anybody want to get an email like that? Let me hear you say, we global. I can't hear you. All right, so fun facts and data, 93% of government contracts go to companies that are actively marketing. Do I need to say that again? I might need y'all to write this down too, please. 93% of government contracts go to companies that are actively marketing. The next question should be, well, Hamza, how do you market your business to the government? All right. Capability statement. What is a capability statement? It's a statement of your capability. You're stating what you're capable of doing with your business. You're articulating your strengths, your core competencies, your differentiators, what sets you away from the other competition, your values, your team members, your past performance, your ongoing performance, and all of your social economical status, aka certifications, such as women-owned business, veteran-owned business, minority-owned business, disadvantaged business enterprise, maybe hub-zone certification, AA certification, right? You're marketing your business all on one page, this capability statement. It should be on one page, not 2 pages, not 3 pages, not front and back. One page. That means that it needs to have micro content, right, with macro impact. Do y'all understand that? That's important to be able to articulate your business very well on one page to where that for contracting officer or government agency or procurement officers looking at your capability statement, they understand exactly what you can do. And we're not going to lead our business with certifications. We're going to lead our business with actual niche, our actual service. For example, we're not coming in and saying, hey, I am a woman-owned business. That is not a business. Your service, your products, your goods that you offer, that is your business. That is what you're selling. That is what you're presenting to your customer. Your certifications is like icing on the cake. It creates you more opportunities as a set aside. So you have opportunity that's set aside for only women-owned businesses, which means that government agencies can only do business with this particular contract for women-owned businesses. If it's set aside for minority-owned business, it's the same thing. Disadvantaged business enterprise, veteran-owned business, disabled veteran-owned business. These are all particularly set aside that creates more opportunities for your group. Do you all understand that? All right. So now we understand how to market our business to the world's largest customer through a capability statement. You know, in the private sector, non-government agencies, you know, marketing is billboard, banners, commercials, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. It's a lot of overhead. It's an expense. I just show you the most minute, cheapest way of marketing to the world's largest customer is through a Microsoft Word document you created, like a job resume, it's a business resume. So you're saving actual money when you're actually just focusing on this one particular customer that all you have to do is secure one contract and change your life. This is the power of doing business with the world's largest customer. So now we understand the capability statement side, marketing, and things of that nature. Let's get to some more fun facts and data. Write this down. 76% of government contracts have 5 or less competitors. 76% of government contracts that get awarded, 5 or less companies were competing for it. This is for people that are thinking this is a competitive market. This is very competitive. Bidding. I have to submit in the bid, or I have to be the lowest price. No, your price could be so low you scared the customer away. That's not the evaluation of who's the cheapest price. It's who presents the best value to the customer. For example, I could have a 2021 Rolls-Royce Phantom, probably about $400,000 car, clean, have the title and everything. But if I pointed directly to you and said, I'll sell it to you right now for $7,500, you'll run away like, that man trying to sell me a lemon, right? So it's the best value you want to present to your customer because that's what they want to purchase off of: honesty, integrity, and smart work. That's how we operate. That's how you stay in business. That's how you get business. That's how you never go out of business, when you operate off those 3 principles. All right? Do you all agree? Honesty, integrity, and smart work. Within the Federal Acquisition Regulation, they speak on this. Companies of good character and having integrity and having honor. Because the government don't know who you are. They just know what you submit in. So make sure your paperwork is on point. T's crossed, I's dotted. When you're doing business with the world's largest customer, we are signing those contracts, proposals with blue ink. Why? Exactly. Cannot forge blue ink. Small things like that make you stand out as a government contractor, right? Now, let's go to more fun facts and data. We said 76% of government contracts had 5 or less competitors. 36% of government contracts that get awarded only had 1 response. I don't think y'all heard me. 36% of government contracts that get awarded only had 1 response, which means only 1 company submitted in a proposal, quote, bid, or whatever it may be. I've secured government contracts not because I was the lowest accepted price. It was because I was the only price. That means it's not enough of small businesses participating in doing business transactions with the world's largest customer. Here's another fun fact and data for you. By September 30th, 2021, that's about 12 days from now, the government has to spend $1.2 trillion. The fiscal year for the government is October to October. They have to spend this money in this time frame in order to get a new budget or a new increased budget for the next fiscal year. So why not do business with someone that essentially has to do business with you? Does that make sense? Anybody want to learn more about government contracts? Let me see here say We Global. Text this right now to this number right now. I want to text We Global to 404-737-1503. Guess what you have access to once you text that to that number? You have access to an awesome bundle pack. You get How to Win in Your Own City, How to Secure Government Contracts in Your Own City, the ebook, and also in chapter 3, it breaks down how to secure no bid contracts in your own city. And you can actually wash, rinse, repeat this same method in any city, county, state, cross this map. Also, in that ebook, you get a bonus 3-hour webinar, me breaking down the ebook to a T. Last but not least, you also get the world-class bid workbook that allows you how to dissect a contract, do bid analysis, be organized, knowing exactly how to pull all the important things out of 100, 200, 300 page solicitation. It's a lot of reading. So we use the bid workbook. You can all get that together when you text We Global to 404-737-1503. I also offer a 5-day boot camp, live training, virtual, where I teach you all the ins and outs of how to procure government contracts. Because that is the most important part, is knowing how to aggregate the important information to write the effective proposals, effective bids, and effective quotes. Is anybody interested to do business with the government? Let me see you say We Global. I can't hear you. I want you all to meet me in the back. I have a booth from 4 to 7. Booth 47, excuse me. Booth 47. I'm right here in the back. I'll be more happy to do more one-on-ones with y'all, break down everything within government contracting. I appreciate the opportunity for me to come on the stage. She Trucking. Trey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on your stage. Once again, my name is Hamza Sabri, CEO of Global Connects, world-class government contracting firm. Y'all have a great day.
My name is Muffy, and I want to encourage more kids to read. I am the star of King's very first book, King the Dream. King taught me how to read, and he can teach you too. Let's read together with King the Dream Storybook. The future looks bright for young learners everywhere. Our goal is to inspire 1 million kids to read. Will you help us reach our goal by purchasing the King the Dream Storybook? It's located on King Can Read website, www.kingcanread.com.
Hello, this is Bobby Concrete from, yes, Bobby Concrete. We got Keith, the Wonder Boy. Keith, Keith. We got Keith here, and Keith, let me tell you. First of all, thank you. This is Men on Pause, and Men on Pause. Now, this is what the show about. It's simple. Men taking a pause to talk about real stuff that's going on in our lives, like in relationships, or with the children, in the church, wherever, like life, just like period. Now, I'm gonna warn y'all right now, Keith is raw. Keith raw. He just raw. I'm letting y'all know I'm raw too, but Keith is a whole next. He raw. So we're gonna talk about something really crazy. So check this out, Keith. So the topic today was about men being tired, or you're trying. That you tried, but you're tired, man, in relationships, man. And this is true. Like getting in these relationships, and then stuff get toxic and crazy, and you're trying to figure out, why is it just everybody losing their minds, man, and people cussing and fussing, and something gets said. You said you didn't say it. You did mean it. Didn't mean it. I don't know. And then call yourself trying in these relationships to make sense of this stuff. But what ends up happening, these words are flying, and these deeds, is all of a sudden about, keeping count on, you did this, you did this. You did this, you did this. And stuff just get did and undone, and people lose their minds. And so that's what I want to talk about today, man. I want to talk about that. And just real quick, man. I mean, Keith, you've been married before? You've been married?
Definitely. I guess it's a matter of which marriage.
What you say, man? You said which one?
Guess I tried a couple of times and got tired. But
okay. Mm-hmm.
But with all due respect, they were both good people in their own rights. I always say that a relationship is entering a relationship rather is just like going for a job interview. And you don't hear nobody going to a job interview saying that, well, sometimes I procrastinate. Sometimes I like to come to work late, and I like to add an extra 30 minutes to my lunch break if possible, because I'm used to having long lunches. They're going to go with all the right wordings, all the good qualities about themselves, and I believe that relationships would be more stronger. They would be more prosperous if you went in as an open book. That's what I always like to say. I like to talk about not just my good qualities, but my negatives as well, because I believe that if you go in like an open book, it gives the other person an opportunity to say, yeah, this is something I think I can deal with, or this is something I can't deal with. But when you're not being open about all the true qualities of yourself, then it's like once the relationship gets going, the other person is like in a position where they got to start finding out pieces and bits along the way. And now here it is, I'm stuck in a committed relationship where I'm now eventually seeing things that I'm not really with.
Yeah. And I always say this, the lies we tell, because that's what happens. It's like, you're in it, and sometimes we'll say, I'm in it to win it. Yeah, okay. It's some work to be done with that. And I'm gonna put myself out here, like, for instance, I got married, and I had some demons, some toxic, crazy stuff, man, coming up, and and then you trying to figure out what do you do with that as you get older, right? And I think, in all fairness, there's a lot of things that you should lay on the table, as you say, just put it out there. But when you're in environments where the unspoken stuff is common, like nobody wants to talk about that kind of stuff. It's like, no, let's not talk about it. We're gonna hide that, or I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to see that side of you. You never deal with it, and then things get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Then now what, man? Now we ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you 100%. Should do that. You're right. I'm just gonna be transparent. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of lying going on when you first meet somebody. You ain't want to tell, man. I don't know about you.
Everybody coming in with motives.
Yes.
Everybody got their motive or whatever agenda to why they want to be with this particular person. And always, one thing I've learned throughout the years, especially after being in different relationships, is that I come to realize, and I can only speak on myself, I come to realize that we need to spend more time learning the character of a person. See, men, of course, men get caught up into the physical attractions, how the girl shape, how the girl look, stuff like that. And the women, they're getting caught up into the man's pocket, what he's driving, how much money he got. Is he a six-figure dude or whatever like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I come to learn that you can have two good people that simply don't complement each other character-wise.
Right.
So if you don't learn the character of that person you're planning on entering a bond, a commitment, or a relationship with, then eventually somewhere down the line it's going to be friction, and you go bump heads, and it may not be good.
Well, and you're right about that bumping heads. And a lot of that comes from, again, ladder should have been up front, but ladder in a relationship. Oh, I wanted to tell you this, or I never said this to you, or man, you know what? I don't like this.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, why now?
Yeah, and exactly. And like like again, I try to mostly always retract it back to me, because there's nobody here to defend themselves. So I don't want to start speaking on bringing other people in, as far as who I was with in relationships. But one thing I can say, for example, like it's not really a gray area. Like I'm gonna be real nice, or sometimes I can be real nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm saying that to say in the relationship, sometimes instead of when I get mad, I may shut down. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of men that do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because once again, men are physical and women are more verbal. And you got some women that really can say some things with words, and the man can't react to that. So their thing is to get physical.
Yep.
Now, I'm not physical in the sense that I was raised better than put hands on a woman, but I know I could probably say some things or whatever that I can't retract or take back. So my thing is, my defense mechanism is I shut down. Sometimes I may go a day or whatever, but there's been times I went a week or longer without even speaking.
Yeah.
Which I know that isn't good or healthy for a relationship, but if that gets back to the point that if that wasn't discussed in the beginning, then you will look and come up with your own interpretation as far as why I'm not speaking. You're not looking at the fact that, oh, he's upset and he shuts down when he get upset because, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let him cool off before I go and try to talk or have this conversation and get things straight. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
How some men are. When men shut down, it's an issue. It's common sense, you know what I'm saying? It's an issue. But they're just, sometimes women look at it and be like, well, he shut down, he ain't talking, he must be seeing somebody else, he must be effing somebody else and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? And that's really not the issue. A lot of times men that shut down, they shut down because they really care.
Right.
They care enough to not disrespect you in a way that they know that they could. So they close down and don't say nothing at all.
Yeah.
Because you got some men out here that'll take your head off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the sad part about it is they the ones that stay faithful and loyal and remain with the men. But the men that's being respectful and say, all right, I'm gonna cool down, I just won't say nothing, in a sense, because that's our way of saying, hey, I'm gonna respect you by not saying nothing. I'm respecting you by not putting hands, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then when you see the relationships that's so-called prospering or whatever, it's the ones that they're going smacking them all upside the head and all right, I'll go out here. You ain't gonna give me nothing. I'll go get some from somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, it goes back to the drawing board. You need to be open and upfront and honest in the beginning. Lay everything out on the table. You know what I'm saying? It gives that person the opportunity to say, I don't think that's something I want to deal with.
Yep. And so I'm gonna throw this out here. Like, one of the things that if we in this relationship stuff, man, when you try but you get tired, right? You feel like you owe me respect. And I feel like you just hit it on the head. Like, man, instead of me doing something stupid, maybe I can't. I don't, because I don't want to go there, right? I feel like if we don't get that understanding, then I'm gonna do something that don't make no sense. And everybody reacts different. Everybody, we ain't built the same. I mean,
exactly.
So I think that first thing you just brought up is you're correct. Like that can become real toxic if we don't get that understanding. Like, probably it's just best I just leave you alone and just go away, because I don't want to do nothing crazy. I really don't. And which goes to my next thing based on something you just said. And here's the deal. It's one of those things in life where it's like buying this car, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's new, it smells great, and truck, whatever, and it's fun. And then after a while, you get tired of it because you done used it up. And I think in relationships, we gotta be careful with that, right? We'll just do things, and the gas runs out, and we don't have real conversations about why the gas run out. So then I'm sitting here thinking, oh, it's you. No, it's you. No, and then add friends to the mix, add your buddies, add church people, add this, add it. And then everybody got opinion, like they side our quarterbacks. And you should do this, you should do this. You ain't gonna stand a chance in that relationship.
Well, you're definitely not.
You can't. Because so one, I'm competing to complete you, and I ain't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, why am I competing with these people that's around? I don't need to. And that's crazy. And then I deplete myself to complete you. And that's crazy. And it took me a while. It's like I was reading this and I told somebody this. It's 5 stages of this transitioning of a toxic relationship. And anger was one of them. And I had to remind myself, I was like, man, you know, when I got to that stage, man, I was just, man, any little trigger switch and it was on. And I'm now at a point where, you know, I'm at a church now and I'm one of the leaders of the church, right? And so one of the things the last 3-4 weeks, God been, you know, really getting me on is, okay, listen, you in this relationship right now where y'all in transition, you know, separate, and we talk divorce. And then I'm like, okay. And I've had to isolate myself, you know, just work at the church, just go fishing, do like you said, man, just sit down, just be quiet. And I'm finding out about myself. And it's one of those things where you just start realizing, okay, you're right, I'm different. I'm different than you. I don't want to do nothing crazy. And I'm trying, I don't want to hear no past stuff. That's another thing. I think we just do each other disservice. Keep bringing past stuff up. And if it don't move the needle, it don't pay bills, and it ain't got no concrete to it, it shouldn't be discussed. Honestly. Why we talking about this stuff? Why you bring it up? It's not going to change nothing. It ain't going to make nobody better. I believe that comes from when we hurt. You know, I heard somebody say, hurt people break people, or they hurt them. And
hurt people. Yeah. And that's crazy. I'm just like, wow. But I'm gonna ask you this, like, so when you're in a toxic relationship, and I'm asking you how do you handle this? But there's some of the behaviors that you know you crossing the line, right? Because I've been reading up on this. Like any kind of abuse, be it physical, emotional, verbal, or financial, other signs are subtle, like they're there. So there's like multiple ways you can be abusive to each other, right? So for you, like when you hit that point when those kind of things are surfacing, I mean, what do you do to kind of, what do you do to just not have that? I've learned to I don't want to say close it. Well, I learned to pull to myself. First of all, you got to shut everything and everyone out from around you, because sometimes you can't hear and think clearly with a lot of different things going on around you. That's what people coming in your ear, you know, stuff like that. Some people, to those that have relationships with God, I would say, you know, meditate, talk with God, see what God says. You know, to those that don't, still, it gets to a place where, and this would really help me. It gets to a place where you have to learn how to be secure in who you are. When you're secure in who you are and you know that you've done right by that person, you know you've done everything as a man to do. And a lot of times people are trying to discredit you because you can't do things on a level that they want you to do things on. Don't wow in a man. You may be providing, paying bills, keeping a roof over their head, keeping food in the house, but they got a problem because you're not able to provide them with a Range or a Lex or a $1 million home. You got a decent home over their head, but it's not what they want. You know, and sometimes that in a sense kind of belittles a man that's not secure in who he is. And you got to get to a point that when you secure, you'll stand back and be like, I messed up. I messed up from the aspect that I love this person enough to accept them for who they are, but yet here it is, they don't accept me for where I'm at in life. So you either have to be able to get to a point where you can talk that out and come to an understanding, or you have to release that person from out of your life. Because don't nobody deserve to deal with no type of abuse, emotionally, financially, physically, verbally, you know, and people deal with it on a daily basis. People are dealing with it. You can see the expressions on people's faces walking around. And people are really hurting. And the sad thing is that the further years go by and time goes about, you see the percentage rate in marriages and stuff is tremendously increasing. Why is that? Because now the new thing now is, you know, you want to be a modern woman, being a modern, and this is another thing I've been thinking about too. A big problem today with a lot of these relationships is, and can you hear me clearly? I want to make sure this is heard. I've been thinking about this for weeks now. This is what a big issue is. You have a lot of people that want to live a modern lifestyle, but the expectations that they put on their mate is from a traditional lifestyle. And the two don't match. You're going to either have a modern relationship or a traditional relationship. I've been watching and listening to a lot of single shows and people that's looking for, you know, dating stuff. And I've just been listening to people and their expectations. And I've been hearing, I want a man that's 6 feet tall. I want a man that's making six figures and stuff like that. And that's your rights to want those things. That's your rights. But the thing is that what if you got a man that's 5'10", a little bit under 6 feet? Because a lot of these people that's asking for these 6 foot guys be like 5'3", 5'4".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That'll make no sense.
I'm not saying it's not right to want what you want, but what if I put it this way? I'll go back to the self again. It was a person I was interested in some years back, and I wasn't married, so go ahead and clear that up because I know this will be nationwide. But so the thing is, it was a person I was interested in, had all the qualities that they wanted in a man. Respectful, everything, you know, I cook, got my own business, everything. The thing is they was into tall men. I was taller than her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, 6 feet, 5'8", but hey.
Oh man.
I mean, you know, but I'm just saying that to say, but the thing is, I'm secure in who I am. So my thing is this: when I'm learning not to look at it as a rejection in a sense. I'm learning it to look at it as their loss. Right. Because when you know what you're worth and what you bring to the table, you know your qualities and stuff, then you can look at it as though you're the gift. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can look at it like that.
And people struggle with that. I even struggle with it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, because you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of feel uneasy about life and where you at, and you know, and I think people don't realize when you ask for, it's almost like you see stuff in other people, but you try to bring that to the table in your relationship. And it's not about what you want, it's what's needed for your life. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm kind of like, okay, you know what? Nah, I'd rather go on about my business and just, you know, it's what do I need? You know, and another thing, you know, sometimes folks don't get this. Like I thought I wanted to do what I wanted to do when it came to God. Let me say this. I thought I can ride that fence in my whole entire life. And long as I felt I was giving God what I thought he should be cool with. Now listen to that. That sounds like a pimp, right? I'm sitting here like, God, now, come on, man. God, you know what? I preached today. You should be happy. Oh, God, I went to church today. You should be happy. Oh, hold up. Oh, God, I gave my tithes and offering. You should be happy. Like, you know, like you bartering with God or something. That's crazy. But anyway, and so, man, you know, I lived like that my whole entire life. Well, now that I'm getting older, I show up to this church in Springfield, and the pastor said something so powerful for me and changed my whole life. He said, look, man, he said, I was living right, but I didn't want to do right. God told him, you know, man, his career was set, Keith. He had it made. All he had to do was punch them tickets. But God wanted him to pastor a small church. And so he said, nah. And it was hell to pay. God like, okay, no problem. I just take my hedge of protection from around you. I don't do your thing. And then you don't want to do what I put you here for, that's on you. And I'm starting to learn it. Now, one of the things that he taught me about, he said, oh, you was doing all this stuff. I said, but I thought I was doing God a favor. But now, Keith, I started to realize, man, in the last week or so, I had to really ask God to forgive me. Like I had to apologize as a man, because what I learned, I got to go all the way live with God. Like when I mean by that, man, you know what I'm saying? Like when I say that, it's gonna be holiness or nothing, right? I was raised in a Church of God in Christ, and I was raised in a holiness environment. Don't get me wrong, I've been Baptist too, and it's not so much the denomination, but it's just for me, those extremes I need. So the pastor, now that I'm at the church, you know, I stay at the house with him, and they have me laughing. He asked me, he said, "Hey man," he said, "I'm about to set this alarm. Is there anything you would like to do before I, you know, set the alarm?" Now, Keith, you know, it was probably some stuff I wanted to do, right? Gotta be real. Amen. Said, no, you're in the house of, you're in the man of God's house and all that. Go sit down. See, and see, those truths I'm talking about in relationships, which is why I'm bringing this up. We gotta be careful when we talking about this love we're supposed to have for each other. And you said something powerful, man. I want to be this modern woman or this loose dude, and I'm gonna do God the way I want to do God. But did you ever ask or think about your partner and what does that do for him or her? What's that going to do? Because what you might be prudent for you may not be prudent for that other person, and they're gonna be on skid row. And here's one thing: my mom did something to prove this point. My dad was an alcoholic, and I've told people this. I don't hide it, man. Look, same. I've been there, done it, man. I'm a binge drinker, right? If I start drinking, I'm going all the way. I'm got tad up. So my mom used to say, you know, Robert, you stop drinking. So he quit. But guess who didn't quit? She didn't. So he said, I'll never forget this. He said, Lou, he said, you told me to stop drinking. I thought you stopped too. So I don't drink. She said, I don't have an alcohol problem. You do. Huh? See, that's my point. See, no. I tell you what, you can have that. And so we need, I'm glad you brought up what you brought up, man. You got to think about that. Like what we want in a relationship and what we need, that's two different things. And I think sometimes we just entice each other in relationships to do some dumb stuff, just straight stupid, you know.
We're in a selfish generation, really. The reason I say that is because I had an opportunity to grow up in a household under my great-grandparents. So those things that I seen in their relationship that I idolized and that I held on to as I got older, as far as what I wanted in a relationship, even though it's been hard to achieve. And the reason I say that is because the average person now goes into a relationship thinking about what they can get out of it, more so than thinking about what can I do to add value or enhance this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into a relationship thinking about what you can do for that person and they come in thinking about what they can do for you, that can be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But when everybody already got their mindset on, oh shoot, I'm gonna milk this cow, I'm gonna get what I can get out of this nigga, or he going there and say, oh my God, I'm gonna tear her back out, boy, until I, when she get old, wrinkle and fall off, then I just had to dip and go find somebody else, or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna milk him for whatever I can get out of him, and you know what I'm saying? And if the bank drop, I'm gonna go to another one, you know. And it ain't like that, you know. It should be where you coming together to build with one another, you know. I mean, it's like regardless if you're making $50,000, if you're making $100,000, and the other person coming with their 100 or 30,000, whatever the case may be, why try to live just off of what this person doing? Drain and stress and break this person down just so you can move on because you done got what you wanted out of it, instead of putting what you got together and y'all can have more together.
Yeah.
To me, that seems like, I mean, that don't even have to be scripture. That's general common sense. If you think about it, If you think about it, if we're working together and we're coming to, it's already hard enough for two people to come together to be on one accord, because you got two complete different characteristics, lifestyles coming together, trying to form this bond of becoming one.
Wow.
But you know what I'm saying? But now here it is, and it goes back to what I was saying at first. You want to live a modern lifestyle. So, and the reason I say that, because now that, and I'm just going by the percentage, not saying that all women are like this. Not that, I want to clarify that. Not saying that all that are like this, but the majority that I have been hearing lately is, I want to work. I want him to pay all the bills. I don't want to have to be coming home cooking, cleaning, this and that. I mean, well, what are you there for? Basically, you're an adult child, really. That's what it sounds like. I mean, because my thing is this. If I got it, and I've done it, I paid the bills, the bulk of the bills, and paid car notes and stuff like that. And I love to cook, so I never looked at being able to come home and have my, it'd be nice if I could come home and have dinner ready, but I never looked at that because that was an area that I knew how to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's what, like I say, my mom taught me when I was younger how to cook, how to separate clothes, do laundry and stuff like that, because she said it wasn't guaranteed that you was going to be married and have somebody there for you or that's going to take care of you. So I'm glad that my mom instilled those values in me, that I know how to do those things. I can take it. I don't have to depend on nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's what we were created for. You know what I'm saying? It's not that the man is just simply dominant over women. It's just once again, it's like a job. And everybody, my position doesn't mean I'm more greater than you. We just got different positions.
Right.
You play your position, I play mine.
Yeah.
Or we work in the same position, we coming together as one to still create something, you know? But this is just, I don't know, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I was reading this quote by Dr. Jane Greer. She said this: if anyone in a relationship make you feel like no matter what you're doing, it always seems to be the wrong thing, that's a red flag. And that's so true. And it's like you said, we in a relationship. So how in the world can we can we work together, man? I mean, and it's, look, these relationships, people don't want to own it, but man, we got multiple partners, physically, mentally, all of that. Even our heart can be somewhere else, and our minds, and you can be right there with that him or her, and that's that's sad when we just it just becomes a deal of, now we want to blame each other and don't want to be honest about where we really are, right? Because we'll say, oh, there's no effort in this relationship, or I feel betrayed, or I don't feel no attachment, or I don't feel no passion for you, or it goes on and on. And I'm like, no. So we always got to find something wrong. So that's the first thing that I want to throw out there, so me and you can talk about. Like,
I feel a big portion of that comes because they never detoxed themselves from their previous relationship.
Uh-oh. Say that again.
They never detoxed themselves from their previous relationship.
Yep.
It's one thing as a younger person, I've jumped out of a relationship from one relationship to another. As I gotten older, I learned that I had to take at least 6 months to a year to myself just to gather myself back together from my, you know what I'm saying? From my past relationships, because I said, if I was going to enter another relationship, I didn't want to bring that mess, that basically that luggage in from the previous relationship. I wanted a whole new suitcase full of new luggage, new clothes, if I was coming into another relationship. And so and to each individual, they may know how long it takes from them to detox from their previous relationship, depending on the length of time that they were together, depending on how deep they allowed themselves to fall in love with that person, may determine the length of time that they need to have to detox from being with that person to move forward into being with the next person. So, that's, and one big thing that I will say that help, when you get to a place that you can be secure in who you are, and another thing too, and not depend on someone else for your happiness. Each individual is responsible for their own happiness. You need to learn how to enjoy yourself. I will go sit at a restaurant by myself and enjoy myself. I get on my phone and be playing a game on my phone and act like I'm dealing with some business. I go sit in a movie theater. I wait to during the daytime when people are working in school. I go to movie theater and sit in there and act like I'm in my man cave or something. You know, you got it's almost like fantasy. You got to learn how to enjoy yourself, because when you can enjoy yourself, then it can be that much more enjoyable with a person that you really get with, that you really like, and that's really feeling you.
Right, and those things you just talked about, those become support systems. Because you're right. Like, I love fishing. I'm about to start hunting and all this crazy stuff, and I'm finding myself saying, nah, I don't want to spend my time being criticized. Like, I just don't. I'll tell you what I'd rather spend my time is learning who I really am in God, or as a man, and do that stuff you're talking about, and chill out and just chill out. Because man, that if you don't have those things, you're torturing yourself. Like, you never get out and do stuff. So somebody was talking to me the other day, and they said, "Man, you always going somewhere. You always, yeah. I'm always having fun. I do." And especially recently, I'm like, no, I want to enjoy my life. I'm getting older. Like, I got less days ahead of me. So why I'm gonna sit up here and just be miserable? I don't want to do that. And so you're right. So I just say, nope. And then here's my next thing I'm gonna throw out here, which goes along with what you just said, right? If we don't do those things, then we strip away our self-esteem. You know, and it's like somebody just picking you apart, and just like trying to find out, here's some criticizing statements, or they saying stuff on the sly, trying to be slick. Like, these are some things that it's an undertow. Like, you trying to figure out what was that about? Why you even had to say that? Or, here's some good ones. I don't know if you dealt with this in your relationship. You minding your business, you're in a relationship, and then this stuff couples say to each other. Like, the man will say to his girlfriend or wife or whatever, "I don't like that dress," or she'll say, "Cut your hair," or I didn't like it, or like that. What's that? What you mean? What you mean that? You don't like? I don't like that. What is that? Like, or you wearing too much makeup, or too much cologne, or why do you have to see your friends, or why do your friends, or see, that's when you know you in trouble. Not your nitpicking.
You find yourself losing yourself trying to please somebody else and be who they want you to be. Man, I done got so daggone twisted up with, oh, you should let your hair grow. I like your curls in your hair. Oh, I like a person with their hair cut close. Why don't you grow your beard out? No, you look better with your goatee. You should have a clean face. So you find you're hearing these little things, and next thing you know, you got a half a beard, half a haircut. you done did everything trying to please this daggone person, and you done got lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it can be crazy. It's a roller coaster, man.
Yeah. And then you sitting up here, I don't even know no more. I'm like, I'll just go bald, man. I don't care. I don't know. Yeah, that's nuts. You know what? Even I expressed this to somebody. Like, I'm a music guy, right? I'm a musician, right? So I love concerts. I like going to concerts. I like all genres of music, right? And just recently, me and this other person was talking about, hey man, so-and-so passed away, so-and-so passed away. So all the old music greats are passing away, right? They dying, right? So I said, well, man, I'm trying to get it in where I can fit in as much as I possibly can, because I said, man, you never know. So I'm bringing this up. So I went to this concert in Iowa with Herbie Hancock, man. Herbie Hancock, and he had his boy horn player with him, and he had the old cats that on bass and guitar that's always been with him, and then he had a 24-year drum, right? So 82 years old, right? That cat was rocking it, right? He rocked it. But this is when I knew that, man, you better get a grip. Man, them folks in there, you know, now I'm not being prejudiced, people, but it was mainly Caucasian and Hispanics in it, right? Right? And a few of us. But one thing I learned about them Caucasian people, man, and them Hispanics, a lot of them can't dance. They don't care. They don't, we the only ones trying to walk up in there like a pimp, you know? Hot style and profile.
Beat with everything and all of that.
All that, man.
They don't care. They'll be all off beat.
Yeah. Got heels on, that's elevator size, all that crazy. And man, them other cats, they got sandals and whatever. They don't care. And they just dancing and enjoying. I said, go. See?
And I tried my best not to laugh so hard. I seen a couple dancing fast to a slow song. I was like, what girl is this right here?
They don't care. They don't care, man.
But you know what? The thing is, at the end of the day, they were enjoying each other.
Yeah.
It was carrying on as though want to care in the world. It's something when you could be in a crowd and be with somebody to the point that the crowd don't even exist.
Yeah. They don't care. I said, okay, I got it. And I kept, and even recently, I've been going and stuff. Like even when I go fishing and stuff like that, I run into some cats and I ask them, hey, how you doing? And we get chopping it up. And then they like, oh, I'm just rolling through. And I said, and doing what? Whatever I want to do. And then they got the woman with a man, and and she's just like, oh yeah, I don't care. I mean, they kill it. And I'm like, wow.
That's the key. The key is being able to live your life at your terms, how you want to. Because at the end of the day, you have to deal with the decisions of the consequences. You have to deal with the consequences of whatever come along with your choices. Good or bad. They can be bad, they can be good. But nobody has to deal with those things but you. So it's best that you live your life. The thing is, we don't realize that we lose the most valuable thing in life, and it's not money.
Right.
It's time. Because that's the one thing that we cannot get back. And we'll get so caught up into other people and trying to please other people and trying to do what other people expect of us, living according to their expectations. That time then flown past, and next thing you know, you're looking around like, hey, what the time been going at?
Yeah. And that's, it kind of reminds me where there's clearly an imbalance of power in a relationship when it's like that. Like it's something imbalanced because, like you said, we two different people, but we should be working together. It's like a merger. It's two companies coming together, man. Two companies, right?
But if you don't learn the background of that company that you're merging with, your expectations is like you don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
you don't know what the history is. That's why it goes back to what we started off with, being an open book, putting it out there. Hey, these are the things I had issues with. These are the things I'm good in. Because at the end of the day, your partner, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationship, may complement the areas that you're weak in.
Yeah.
But you won't know if you don't put it out there. You get in a relationship and the girl would be like, oh, I can't cook, instead of lying saying you can cook, and then you go home and you got boxed everything or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and crackers and Vienna sausage and stuff, which I don't mind eating, but still. Hey, I try to keep those things because I don't like to forget where I came from. They good for when hard times hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But still, at the end of the day, don't sit here and try to impress me like you this great cook, and then you there gonna looking around for the dog or something to slide the food to. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm good in that area. I don't mind cooking. Some days, if I'm too tired to cook, then hey, we can order out or go out or something. But still, but it comes with and one big thing. You hear a lot of women say this: communication, which they are right.
Yeah.
Some men, like I said, and once again, I won't say all. Some men lack when it comes to communication. So, it needs, a lot of things need to just simply be, a lot of things could have been avoided if communication was involved. A lot of things, a lot of marriages could have been saved You know what I'm saying? A lot of heartaches could have been avoided if communication was involved.
Yeah, and it's really a form of self-care when you can you know, really just say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna communicate this, and I may need to just step back for a little bit and just take a break because I don't want to, because it don't do no good to say stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then you still want to. You did this close quarter combat stuff, man. Nah, that is.
And let me put this out there because you just reminded me of something too. In communication, it has to be reciprocated. One talking while the other one is actually listening. Not one talking and the other one waiting to respond. To get their point across, not to respond to what you just shared with them. Because a lot of times in communication, a lot of times people already be on the defense and they're waiting for you to be quiet just so they can respond. They're not waiting to respond to what you're saying an issue is with you. They're waiting to respond because they're on the defensive end and they're ready to tell you more things about what you done wrong or what they don't like. You see what I'm saying? Instead of saying, oh, well, I didn't realize you saw it like that, or I didn't realize you felt that way, or, you know, what is it that we can do to just change this around? Oh no, you felt like that because you this and that, and you is always, you know, pointing the finger at you instead of saying, all right, what can I do to make you feel, you know, more better in this area, or you know what I'm saying? And it should be reciprocated, same both ways, you know.
Yeah, and I know you just said something. It's almost like I'm gonna see what you say, then I'm gonna if I feel like I need to, I'm gonna say something to fire on you.
Mm-hmm. Because they don't want to accept accountability.
Right. Yeah, that's low class. We shouldn't be doing that. That's why, again, that's my new mantra. If it ain't moving the needle, it ain't paying bills, man. It ain't pouring no concrete. Now, for you out there, you want to know what that is. Pouring concrete means that you got your life together, your retirement, all that stuff. You get to go. Your business is your everyday stuff, and moving needles means things that don't matter in life. Don't mess with it. It ain't even worth it, man. Because it's like, for what? Like, what? It's a waste of time. And what I'm learning too is that God will hand us things that needs to be or given to somebody else, and we're holding on to it because we're scared of what? We're afraid of what? I'm guilty of that, right? So now I'm at a point, no, I don't care. I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm good. And move on. And I just want to enjoy life, man. And we got to get to that point where, you know what? It is what it is. I'm good. I just I'm shocked and appalled too. I'm seeing a lot of these young folks, like they don't. When we was coming up, we did things because we was hungry. And I'm gonna tell you, keep where I'm going with this, right? I didn't go fishing because I like fishing. When I came up, we went fishing because we was hungry, or we hunted because we was hungry, or we had a garden because we was hungry. We did things, everything pretty much. And when I was coming up, it had meaning. Like it had purpose. It had intent. And nowadays, it's like we done taught like these young cats. They don't even know why they're here on. They don't even know why they're on the planet. Even in relationships, it's like we in this relationship. What we in this relationship for? What we doing? When they just, you know, I heard somebody tell me, which shocked me, but this guy said, "Yeah, I got married again," and I said, "Oh, wow!" And I thought he was gonna say because something meaningful, and he said, "Nah, man." He said, "I ain't had no retirement plan, so I just married her." And I said, "Whoa!" I said, "Nah, I'm done. I'm done." No, yeah, old head.
You married somebody you think the die before him?
Yeah, like what did he just said that?
Wow.
In his mouth? I'm like, no.
Goes back to motives. People jump in relationships because of motives.
Yeah. I said, "You can have that, bro." And then he said, "What about you?" I said, "Oh, I'm good. I don't care." I said, "But I'm not doing it for that reason. That is not gonna happen." And even when I tell people, "Look, I'm one and done." Now, when I say that, people be like, "What do you mean by that?" My point is, you said something earlier makes sense. I'm not gonna go into another relationship with somebody else, and I ain't got my stuff together. I should learn. Let's just learn. Okay, now when I do it, it's gonna make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't rushing. Can't do it. And now it's not to say I won't do it, but I got enough sense. If it didn't work before, we should. You said this. We should learn. What? Okay. It's to me. It's not how many times you've been married. I think that's overrated. Like that has got nothing to do with it. I think if we all are honest, some of us just have been in relationships so long, we would have done the same thing. We've been, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody want to talk about that. Like I probably would have did that. I probably would have said, okay, next. And as you get older, you evolve, you learn. And when I hear people say, well, man, why'd you do that? Why'd you get married 2 times, 3 times? Because excuse my vernacular, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody don't want to be honest with that. I ain't know what the hell. And matter of fact, I just told somebody this again. I said, man, somebody asked me, they said, well, in your relationship, did you ask God? No. No. Did you pray about? No.
Honestly, I don't think I've read yet what he told us to ask him. I did read what he said, the man that go and find him.
And you know what? You got to know what you're finding too. It's something we don't know what we're finding, man. We find Ruby.
Yeah, that's the key. You got to know.
Titties, all that. We finding all that other stuff. Man. And church folks, and nothing against all y'all church, right? You know, because I'm a church guy too. But doggone, man, the lies we tell. Instead of just being honest, you want to get all deep in wonderful. I said it both speaking in tongues and only God and the devil know. And then you want to raise your hands and all that. No. If I asked you, did that relationship, did it make sense? Right? And instead of you just being honest, saying, no, it ain't make no sense. Right? It didn't make no sense. Yesterday, Keith, I ran into this couple yesterday, and they say, oh, how you doing? And what you doing? And they are, oh, wait, check it out. They living some Jesus, God, and all this, getting all deep, wonderful with me, all that. Like, they taking me to church. I said, okay. I see him the next morning. And man, I smelled some hood rat coming out of somebody. It wasn't right, Keith. I said, wait a minute, hold up. No, wait a minute. Y'all was, praise God over him. He's my, and God brought him, and it's now we love each other. It ain't even 24 hours, man. It's maybe 6, 7. Y'all at it already? I said, I'm done. See how we do, Keith? And then we don't want to be honest, man. It's just, so that's why I brought that up. Like, people need to, like you said, you got to communicate, like, what's for real. Like, just say it. Like, man, you know what? I probably jacked that up, or, man, that didn't make no sense, or, you know what? I don't know. And then sit down and tell people the truth. My son said something to me that really just got to me. He said, Dad, you know what? It's funny. He said, man, I hate going to these men's conferences and these couples things and all that. I said, wait, whoa. Why? He said, because they be lying. He said, we be in these church retreat stuff, and then they want to, just make it go away and praise Jesus and all that. And hold hands and blow out 3 candles and go flush the toilet 4 times and jump over the benches.
I dealt with all that early in my lifetime. That's why I dealt with that years earlier. That's why I don't want to say I stay away. I'll go to church. I go visit. I'm still a believer in Jesus Christ. It's just that I got away from all the religious things because I believe that it's a personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people this. I say, just like you as a human parent, you may have multiple children. Even though you may deal with them differently, you love all of them the same. You deal with them differently because they have different characteristics. Same thing God does with us. So you can't put on me what God has on you. You can't say you're a heathen or you're going to hell because you don't this and that go to church. You know what I'm saying? Because we the people are the church, and I'm not saying this, for the to discourage folks from going to church. But I look at church as like a gas station. So you need to know what type of car you are, because some cars require fueling more than others.
Right.
Some cars can only handle premium, some can handle unleaded, some super, or whatever the case may be. But that's between you and God. You need to know yourself and where you're at. You know, like I say, forsake not the fellowship. That's the simple thing that we're going for: the gathering, the fellowship, the uplift, the encourage, so we can be fueled up to make it throughout the next week. Not for building funds, not for all this other kind of stuff, not for the be told what we need to be done in our marriage. Because at the end of the day, if you establish a relationship with God, you will learn what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you establish a relationship with God, you already know that you're blessed and you're going to be blessed. I don't have to buy a handkerchief from you or get some water that you got from Uncle Paul in the bottle and sprinkle and all that to be blessed. I've already prepared me to be blessed. You know what I'm saying?
What you say?
So, yeah, you're paying building funds for a building you ain't seen yet. You know, hopefully your grandchild or somebody see it. But
wow.
But yeah, I mean, and I've been through all of that. You know, the love offerings and all this other kind of stuff that they rape and rob you for. You know, and people, you can take it how they want to take it, but at the end of the day, man, the truth of the matter is churches are hurting a lot of more people than it is helping. Because the ministry starts at home, and I'm constantly being pulled to be at church for this event, for that, for this rehearsal, for that practice. If I'm working 5, 6, 7 days a week, and then I got to come home and go straight to the church, where's the ministry beginning at home?
Wow.
I'm trying to minister to my wife, to my kids, to my family, to myself. When does that time kick in at?
Wow.
You know, and so, I mean, we really need to stop playing games with people and teach people how to establish a personal relationship themselves with God.
Wow.
And how to learn to love the way God desired us to love. How to have faith according to God's word. Because it says it's given to man different, you know, there are different measures of faith, different levels. So everybody don't have that same level of faith. So don't discredit this person because they may not can give as much as this other person can. They may can't give, but their faith level isn't there. But the minute you call $1,000 contributing line, you done daggone lost a lot of people right there, because now they're burdened with the fact that they love God so much. That's one of the deepest things that hurt me when I first got to church. The love I had for God, I ain't gonna say had, I still have love for God strongly. But one of the most discouraging things was that when I was in the streets making money, and I got involved in church, and I wasn't making money at the time no more. I fell off, came to church, basically broke. And they started calling these lines $100 line to this and that. And I'm sitting here looking at the money I used to have serving the devil. And now here it is, I'm serving God, and I don't have the money to give him. And then you're seeing the people get up with their chest out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Popping these, you know what I'm saying? Do you know how that make, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was something that's supposed to have been done in secret. And it's still on the topic of relationship, because they rather establish a relationship with the pastor than having a personal relationship with God and getting to learn God and letting God direct them instead of the pastor directing them. That was done the way in the Old Testaments when you had to go to the Pope or the priest. You see what I'm saying? That was Jesus coming for the veil being torn, so we have access to God on our own. So why are people still relying more on the pastors, the more on one of my marriages I got, and me and my kid's wife, we're good friends. But I will say this. I always said that marriage was more of an arrangement, because at the time I wasn't as close with God, and people prophesied saying that that's who I was supposed to marry.
Wow.
And because our love for God and wanting to do what was right, we married because we thought that we was honoring God. We was friends, and now we're still friends. But the thing is that I wasn't the man that found her for wife. I knew I wasn't the type of man that she wanted. She was into more of the athletic type dudes, which you can clearly see that ain't me. You know, I was more into the LL Cool J type girls, the around the way girls. You know, throwing a cap, some jeans, have her hair hanging out, and look fly. But still, if we went out somewhere, she can dress up and still look just as good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but that was something I had to grow into, something I had to learn throughout years. But there were some hardships and times that probably could have been avoided if someone wasn't selfishly about how they was leading people. Or, you know, I only want to say that because sometimes a lot of people doing things out of ignorance and not aware. They think they actually think they're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but that's another topic right there. You know what I'm saying? As far as too in depth with this church stuff, because that, I mean, you get kind of emotional about that because a lot of my life was dictated behind following church folks.
Woo! Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Instead of following God.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And so now it's kind of like a personal chip right now. That's why I tell people now, a lot of pastors, truthfully, you said this nationwide we're talking on?
Yeah.
A lot of pastors are actually motivational speakers if they ain't preaching and teaching about the kingdom. Truth of the matter.
And you know what? You're right. And we're gonna talk about that because that's gonna be something we're gonna talk about on our next segment because it's true. And it's, you know, our time is up, but I will say this, man. You're right. A lot of us, man, we listening to folks, man, and we just not getting it. Like, where's God in all of this, man? It ain't.
He has to be involved.
Right. Like, where is he at? Like, just because you got your Bible and you look like, you know, you got a title and all that. And nah, man. And I'm with you on that. Right now, I'm in that phase in my life where I'm struggling with that. I told the pastor that I'm with now, him and his wife, they said, well, when you come, you know, you're gonna be okay. I said, I just want to be the janitor. I don't, huh? And that's what I do. I don't need to do all that stuff, man. Been there and done all that. I'm enjoy God, man. I ain't got time. I just want God, man.
A competition of the titles.
Right. I don't need all that. Well, people, our time is up. And this is Bobby Concrete, and I'm with Keith the Wonder Boy. Keith, huh? Y'all didn't know Keith can sing, man. Keith can.
Maybe if you listen to me while I'm in the shower.
Yeah. Keith, when he keep coming, that's what we call Keith the Wonder Boy. Because man, he's a wonder. Yeah, he got, you know, he just he got it, man. But that's, you know, next segment he gonna sing, he gonna sing for us, and then he gonna start us off with a word of prayer and a song. He gonna give a song. Keep like, no, I'm not.
I get home with the prayer part. I let you deal with the praise and worship.
No, I'm not. All right, we're signing off. Keith, we'll be back next week, and you better believe he's just getting warmed up. He's about to go there. We know what we're talking about next week, Keith. We're gonna talk about that. Don't y'all get offended? I'm sorry. Just too bad. Too bad. All right, love you. See ya.
Bye. Is interested in getting into podcasting, grab this book. Go on Amazon, grab this book. It goes with me almost everywhere. This book has like a workbook. It has places you can fill it in. It tells you how to monetize your podcast. It tells you how to set it up. It tells you about sponsorships. It even, listen, go on Amazon and get this book. And this is the Bible for podcasters. Listen, it was ranked #1 in podcasting books. Look right here. Best new podcasting book by Book Authority. Right there. Boom. And a little secret. Y'all, when you grab this book, I think it's page 43. There is a code on there. Listen, you can get access to her class, her course. Get her course. It's worth hundreds of dollars. But this book is less than $50. Grab this book on Amazon. I'm telling you, I carry it everywhere. She is the best. Grab this book on Amazon.
Hi, my name is Nate Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of GLCS, and this is the Driving Forward podcast. Once again, remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Follow GLCS on LinkedIn for shows, summits, and various events. We have a great show today. We have Chris Thomas on. He's a driver for an owner-operator, actually, a driver for Autumn Transport. He runs a pneumatic truck over the road. We met Chris at the F3 in Chattanooga a few weeks ago. Really excited to talk about him, about his life on the road and his career and how he got into trucking. A couple quick updates on what we're up to right now. December 16th, GLCS will be participating in wreaths across America. We'll be placing wreaths at the Fort Snelling Cemetery in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. If you wish to participate, it's wreathsacrossamerica.org. I know they're still looking for a lot of volunteers to help place wreaths at really any military cemetery throughout North America. Also, if you're in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area and you want to participate and you're not sure how to sign up or just want to come and participate with us, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to bring more people. You can reach out to us at drivingforward@glcs.net. Also coming up, Broker Carrier Summit. That's April 22nd through the 24th in Kansas City. We just had a great planning session here this week. The last day for a 20% discount is today. So brokercarriersummit.com. Also be sure to follow the Broker Carrier Summit on LinkedIn. To sign up, go to www.brokercarriersummit.com. We have a great set of speakers that we're lining up for that event. We're currently, the last event had 227 attendees, a great breakdown of brokers and carriers. I think it was 40% brokers, 45% carriers, and the remainder was a group of different technology solutions and consultants within the industry. The next event we're targeting, we're targeting 1,000 people, and I think we may achieve it. So Trey Griggs and Robert Bain have both committed their hair again. Trey is going to shave his head. Robert's going to shave his beard if we hit a certain target. I think it's 750 people. So once again, brokercarriersummit.com, April 22nd through the 24th in Kansas City, and today is the last day of the 20% discount. So with that being said, extremely excited to bring on Chris Thomas. If we can bring Chris Thomas out, please.
Daddy taught you, maybe your mom sips them years. No matter what got you on this ride, damn sure glad you're here.
Hey, Chris, welcome.
Hello, Nate. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you having here, and that intro music is interesting. It's by a gentleman called Eric Daly, and the song's called "Big Truck Life." So it's a great song about trucking, and if you haven't heard it, I suggest everybody check it out. It's a great song.
Yeah, there's the line in there. The first time behind the wheel. Every truck driver can probably remember their first time behind the wheel of a big truck. I guess I had several of them, whether it was a fire truck or the first time I ever drove one was probably a tanker that we were getting ready to buy, and I took up to Canton, Ohio, and I probably shouldn't even been driving it. I had no license, but volunteer firefighters, you can just kind of jump out and go in it. So I was out there shifting gears like a pro, taking that thing for a test drive.
I remember my first time behind a wheel. I got behind the wheel and my foot was up on the clutch and the legs started bouncing. I'm sure if you haven't heard that expression, but the leg starts bouncing on the clutch, this is many, many years ago, but you start getting a little freaked out behind the big piece of equipment. So, but that first time behind the wheel, everybody's got their memory behind it. So I can definitely relate. So really appreciate you having on. Met you at F3. Really kind of knew you were coming to F3. I have to admit, I was kind of browsing through all the people, and I saw owner operator Autumn Transport, and I said, hey, I know people from Autumn Transport. So I reached out to my friend Josh Rieger at Autumn Transport and said, hey, you have a guy going to Autumn Transport. Do you know him? And so that I kind of knew you were going to be there, and I was really glad that we were able to connect. So what did you think of F3? I guess before we get into who you are, where you came from, what was your take of that event?
Sure. So yeah, the Future of Freight Festival, hosted by Freight Waves, it was awesome. There's just no way to put it other than that. For a guy that sits in behind a wheel every day, just getting to get there and see, kind of that backside of the industry, what everybody's doing, and logistics and stuff, and the keynote conferences, the networking opportunities, just talking to people. Everybody has different ideas and different problems and trying to figure out solutions. And it was just a good time. I mean, the after parties, hanging out with my crew, the Please Advise group, which is Reed Loosed a lot, and all my friends. Gord, there you go. Yeah. Part of that. Part of the
I got the big head, so it doesn't fit.
Yeah. So it kind of all started, back at Matt's this year. We had a Twitter meetup, with Reed, myself, Gord McGill, Mike Lombard, and Justin Martin of Freight Waves, and we were all and also I want to throw out Taylor Barker there too. Taylor Built on Twitter. We were all there hanging out at Matt's, and just Reed had this Discord server, and Reed was wearing this Please Advise hat, the first edition. He just bought a phone with a Post-it note on there. And my story is, I told him to make that hat. He probably was already thinking about making it, but I was like, you make that hat and I'll buy one. And this is it right here. This is probably one of 12 OG hats that he made, the first shipment. So glad to support Reed and everything that all the guys in the Discord channel are doing. We come together there and we talk about issues, but everybody's kind of doing their own thing. I've called it everything from a cult of freight to a incubator to a think tank, and my favorite is probably Justin Martin's the smoke-filled back room of the supply chain. So it's just a great place to get on there and kind of cut loose and talk about whatever it is, just kind of hang out. And Reed has done a great job in putting together these little online events within the arena. We've listened to several different people within the logistics industry, from Ross Huntsman, then also John Conrad of G Captain, and then Timothy Dooner and Craig Fuller have all been on in the arena, which is a great platform to get in and listen to him and Reed talk and just kind of go down a rabbit hole wherever it might lead to. So
I don't spend enough time there. It's on my list of things to do. Typically those Discords events are in the evening, which for you guys that drive, that's